movie blog. I am the critic with Cynic. How is everybody doing tonight? All right, I'm getting on just a couple minutes early, just to make sure that everyone has time to get on for 8 o'clock. And hopefully the notification went out so we can get our regulars back in here, which is always fun. Let me just, hello, hello, hello. How are you? Let me just go post this on Twitter. We are live. Boom, 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 boom. How has everybody's Monday been so far? Hopefully it's been quite good. I'm excited because today was my last day of work for the week because I get to go to my theme park on my theme park trip tomorrow. So I'm very, very excited for that. So yeah, my voice is very, very tired though. 6 and 7-year-olds just do not listen, and it's quite tiring to have to deal with on a regular basis. So all right, let's see if we can get it. All right, it's actually showing up here. Fantastic. All right, let's get the chat open up. All right, Cobra Kaiser Soze, what's up, Odin? What's up, Cobra Cobra Kaiser Soze? Welcome back again. I love that name so much. It's so freaking awesome. Welcome back to the chat. Tina is here. Hello, Tina. One of my Valkyrie. Tina says, "Good evening, fellow Asgardians. Hello, Cobra Soze. Good day, Odin. Hope you're well. Going to get a cup of coffee. We'll be right back." And no, they don't. Do they? What? Yeah, I'm not much of a coffee person, but I love water. Greta says, "Hey, what's up, Greta? Welcome back to the chat. It's always great to have you, one of our regulars." Cobra Kaiser Soze, I literally have the exact same ceiling fan in my room above my head. Well, that's awesome. That's fantastic. I hope that it makes you think of home every time that you see it. Super Anime Gamer says, "Hey, oh, what's up, Super? How is it going? How is your night going?" I actually have the chat up on time for once, so I'm not super far behind yet, which is really awesome. It's like a rare thing that happens, and it's great. So, how's everybody doing? How's everyone's Monday been? I'm just still quite amazed because I did a video on this earlier. I'm still so amazed that Cinema Blend had a story that they could have just turned into such a positive, saying this is what someone went through, talking about Ahmad Best, saying this is what he went through, and the fans came back with support, and isn't this awesome? Isn't this amazing? And instead they just decide to go off on these tangents about toxic fandom, and it's like, what does this have to do with anything? Why can't you just keep something positive for once? I mean, people criticize me saying, "Oh, maybe you should start covering other things." It's like, well, I'm sorry, but I'm passionate about this stuff, and I'll start doing that as soon as this nonsense stops. And it doesn't look like it's stopping anytime soon. Again, if you can't even turn a positive like that over, then I don't know what the hell else you can possibly do. It just does not make any sense whatsoever. All right, we got 10 people in here now. How is everybody doing tonight? Hope everyone's Monday was great. Again, my Monday was quite tiring dealing with 6 and 7-year-olds, but I am here nonetheless. I'm going to try and go for a couple hours. So we'll see what happens. Let's see. Tina says, Cinema Blend is another one of Uncle Ethan's sheet of paper shame websites. Yes. Oh my goodness. I love every time he does a video and he pulls out the little sheet of paper. I just automatically laugh because it's just so fantastic. I love it. It's so awesome. S4E7. Hello, S4E7. That is the first time I've seen you in the chat. So welcome. I was told I need therapy for not liking the last chat. Well, who told you that? Because that really that makes all the difference in the world. Because if it was one of these nonsense people in the media, especially or on Twitter, yeah, I wouldn't listen to them because they obviously have no idea what they're talking about. See, Sly Jones, what's up, Sly Jones? So glad to see you. You and EVS logged at the same time. Really? Oh no. I mean, I hate because like I always try and go live consistently, like around 8 o'clock. Central Standard Time is usually the time I go live. Unless I'm taking the night off. Very rarely do I go on earlier. There's only been a couple exceptions to that, so I always try and do it consistently. But yeah, unfortunately, I don't know when they usually go live because I feel like with EVS, Jeremy, sometimes it changes. I know Jeremy tries to go live around 6 p.m. Central Standard Time usually, but EVS can kind of sometimes be up in the air depending on what's going on. So yeah, that's I hate when it happens, but at the end of the day, I like having these small groups anyway. So if people like being here and people like having these conversations, I'm going to keep on doing it, and it's so much fun. Systemera says the tangents are the point. They are sleazy hit pieces. You're absolutely right, Systemera. I mean, it really is, because they take something again. I think someone mentioned this in the comments saying, yeah, you have this headline that's clickbait saying, oh, look, a positive story about Star Wars fandom and how positive the fans were towards this guy, the character, the guy that played Jar Jar Binks, and look how great this is. And instead, as you just said before, they go off on these tangents. And that's the whole point of it, is that they want to remind people, even though there's this positive that they could be talking about, instead, they want to remind people, but don't forget, the Star Wars fandom is toxic. The whole reason why he was attacked was because they were toxic. It's like, no, that you're just totally misrepresenting the facts. And it's just, again, it's just totally unnecessary. I hate when they do that. Stephanie B's in the chat. What's up, Stephanie B? I got both my Valkyrie tonight on time, so this is awesome. Great to see y'all here as always. Tina says, yes, there are a few live streams going on tonight. Well, I know me. Of course, I know I'm live. So it sounds like EVS is live. I wonder who else is live right now. That'd be interesting to find that out. Steffi says, you just got a mention in the Geeks and Gamers chat. Awesome. That's awesome. Let me know what was said, because that's awesome. I know someone said earlier that either Jeremy or one of those people said something about trying to get together to collaborate on things, because please, if he's still live streaming, say Odin really wants to collaborate, because I think that would be so much fun. I would love to do something with them. Again, if I could just, I love Geeks and Gamers. I love all the content they put out, especially now that Jeremy is, focusing a lot more on movie reviews now too. So just broadening everything, broadening the content of the channel. I love that. I of course love his Star Wars film. That's the Star Wars content. That's the reason why I found his channel. That's the reason why I keep watching his channel, because he's just so commonsensical with pretty much everything that he talks about. But I do really like his talking about movies as well. So please let me know what was said. Cobra Kaiser says, screen is frozen. Not cool. I'm sorry to hear that. Yeah, I don't know what's going on. You might just need to reboot it. Because if my audio is still coming through, then just reboot it. Because I know sometimes people get caught on the popcorn screen. And so unfortunately, there's nothing really I can do from my end. So I hope everything is fine now. Sister Mary says hello to Stephanie. Hello. Darskipio, what's up? Darskipio says hello to Stephanie, Tina, and Odin. What is up, Darskipio? Hope you are doing well tonight. Everyone's saying hello to each other. Let's see. Super says, before this, I was trying to write a post for my blog about Hunchback. I tried to do a book summary as an intro, and I failed 4 times. Turns out you can't write what you don't haven't read. That is true. It's very hard to write about something that you haven't actually read. But speaking of Hunchback, I saw someone post something on Facebook recently, and I don't know how true it is, but it seems to be a cast list for the live action Hunchback that's coming out in 2021. And it looks like Andy Serkis has been cast to play Quasimodo, and Gal Gadot has been cast as Esmeralda. All I can say is if just those 2 castings alone are true, I'm in. I am totally in on that film, because oh my goodness, I love Hunchback. It's one of, again, I said this all the time, it's my favorite Disney animated musical. I love the score. It's one of my favorite scores of all time. And with that cast, I would definitely go in. I love anything Andy Serkis does, but with Gal Gadot as Esmeralda, I don't know if she can sing. I don't know if it's going to be a musical. I assume that it will be, but I love her, and I think she's great. So I think that'd be awesome. So you reminded me of that by talking about Hunchback. System says, Ahmad said media backlash, but they literally just ignore the word media. You're absolutely right, because again, that's going back to the original post where he talks about the media backlash, and it's so true. It was the media that went after him the hardest. I'm not saying that there weren't fans that were probably jackasses to him, but at the end of the day, who were the ones that really went after that character in particular and really led to that character being minimized in the 2 films? It was the media, because what was the constant story? Oh, this is obvious. This is such a racist caricature, and there might be merit to that argument, but they just hit it so hard. That is what affected the character, and that's also that's inevitably what affected him most of all too. So you're absolutely right on that. Cobra Kaiser says, are you on Twitter? Yes, I am, at Odin's Movie Blog. It's the same spelling, just without, of course, the the apostrophe, but yeah, everything else is the same. I am on Twitter as well. Tina says, Jeremy is on. They're trying to raise funds for the lady who is the model for Mara Jade Image. I think she has cancer. I came in on the middle of it, so I don't have the details. Yeah, so he made a video earlier today. At the very end of his video, he mentioned that. It's a GoFundMe page, so definitely go check out Jeremy's previous video from today, and it'll have the link for the GoFundMe, and definitely go check it out. If you feel like you have the ability to donate to that cause, I would definitely recommend it, because no matter where someone comes from or where someone is, I feel that, if we can support them and they need the support, that we should just, out of the goodness of our hearts, I feel like, we should try and be charitable when we can be charitable. But especially since she's, part of this community, I think that that's also very important as well. So thank you, Tina, for shouting that out. Ratboy says, I saw Ant-Man and the Wasp. It made $75 million and people whining about how much it made. It still hasn't released worldwide yet. People need to calm down. I did have fun, though. Yeah, I feel like a lot of people are just having this backlash against the film. You know, I know Jeremy touched upon this, too, in his video today. Guys, if you haven't checked out Jeremy's video today, please go check it out because he talks all about how we use the term SJW, social justice warrior, and how sometimes we can overuse it. And I think it's totally spot on because we shouldn't call out things that aren't really fitting that narrative. Unless, you know, we shouldn't call things out as SJW unless they're actually fitting the narrative like we have seen with Star Wars, because people are trying to start to do that with The Incredibles and also with Ant-Man and the Wasp. And the problem is that those messages really aren't in those films. And so when you start to use the word so much, we become no better than the SJWs themselves, who use terms like racist and sexist over and over again, and it loses all meaning. So in a similar way, what he's saying is that if we continue to use SJW in the same way, that it'll also lose meaning. I think that's very, very insightful. And so definitely check out his video, not just to find the GoFundMe page, just so that way you can go and support her. And also, too, just for that message, I think it's really important as well. Let's see. 70B says, everyone was discussing the live streams and 3 comments were speaking of you. Oh, that's awesome. That's awesome. That means a lot to me. That's fantastic. Thanks for letting me know that. That's awesome. Let's see. The Star Wars Dad. What's up, that Star Wars Dad? Welcome to the chat. It's the first time I've seen the name in here. So the Star Wars Dad is in the house. Again, sorry guys for my voice. I was yelling at 6 and 7-year-olds all day. So, you know, I think I was already like a little sick to begin with. So my voice is just trash right now. But thank y'all for sticking with me nonetheless. Andy the Great. What's up, Andy the Great? Welcome back to the chat. He says, good video earlier today. Well done. Well, thank you very much. I do greatly appreciate that. Yeah, I mean, I think it's important because, again, it was something that I wanted to be honest, when I first was making the video, you can tell that very early on in the video, I said, I'm so glad to see a positive article, because what I try and do is I always try to do my instant reaction to articles, just the way I keep myself honest with you, just with my own honest thoughts about things. Because I feel like if people study the articles, obviously they might be, you know, sometimes people say you're a little too off the cuff. Maybe you should write a script, but I kind of like being off the cuff. I kind of like just, you know, being stream of consciousness, because I feel like a lot of people, you know, associate with that. And so when it was reading that article, at first I saw the headline, I thought, oh, this is really positive. But then, of course, as I keep on reading it, I realized, oh, wait, Cinnamon Blend is obviously still showing its incredible bias, and it's just awful. So, yeah, absolutely. I mean, it's just really, really sad to see what's been going on with everything with that story, because it should be nothing but positive. It should say, look how positive the fan base is supporting this guy, and, you know, with all the love and support for him and everything that he's gone through. But instead they're like, no, let's just take this as another opportunity to attack the fan base, which is, again, not helping Lucasfilm, and it's not helping Star Wars in general. So it's really sad. Greta says, a Hunchback live action film is official. I haven't heard anything about it. Yeah, I mean, someone just posted on Facebook, so I don't know how accurate it is, because, you know, sometimes people can just make things up. So that's why I was asking to see if y'all had seen something similar, because if that was the case, I mean, that cast sounds fantastic. Let's see. The Star Wars Dad says, I have a podcast coming up with a member of the 501st. Awesome. That sounds awesome. That sounds fantastic. So go check out his channel, because I'm assuming, Star Wars Dad, that you put your podcast on your channel. If that's the case, go check out his channel. I haven't checked it out myself, but I'm going to plan on doing that after the stream. So go check him out. Let's see. System Error says, yeah, it was difficult. Like giving him the Golden Raspberry for worst actor. That's what drove him to the brink. Yeah, I mean, really, I do think that it was more because, obviously, again, as I said before, the fans can be cruel in certain situations. I totally agree with you. At least, you know, certain people who call themselves fans, who are just really toxic people themselves, you know, using that word correctly. You know, obviously, we know people in the media don't use that word correctly, but when it comes to, especially, you know, everything going on with him personally, we know, because he said it himself, that it was the media backlash that really, you know, pushed him to the edge. And I think that's a huge deal. And I mentioned this in the video. The media have so much more power than we do. You know, obviously someone on Twitter and someone on social media can say a bad comment, but most people can just brush them off because we know, oh, that's just somebody I don't know saying something. But if the media is putting stuff out there, that stuff that hundreds and thousands and millions of people can see, that will have a much more profound impact on someone. So yeah, in that case in particular, we can definitely point out the media being the culprits in that situation. Super says, Gadot as Esmeralda might work for me. I haven't seen a lot of Circus, but I don't know if I'd buy him as a character, pure, good and genuine as Quasi is supposed to be. I could. You know Andy Serkis. He's the one that did Gollum. He is the guy who did Caesar in the Rise of the Planet of the Apes, War for the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, a really great trilogy recently. If you have ever had any interest in motion capture in particular, this guy, I really think Andy Serkis should have won an Oscar for his performance, because it was not just a computer animated image that was acting. It was him acting and being the role and fully embodying the role as well. And that's why I love it so much. So I think he'd be great as Quasimodo. I would be concerned because he'd probably be a motion capture CGI figure. But which again, I feel like, especially since we know we have the practical effects and the makeup to be able to do so, I would rather see those practical effects than to see him in CGI. But at the end of the day, I do also like Andy Serkis, and he works wonders with motion capture. C70B is promoting my Twitter. Well, thank you very much for that. I always greatly appreciate it. S4E7 says, can you guys collaborate and figure out how big the so-called vocal minority really is? I would love to do that. I really would. I think it would be awesome for all of these channels to come together. You know, obviously they come together for the High Council, but I think it'd be even cooler for us to really come together and work on a collaborative story. You know, we could even break it up into multiple parts and that each could be hosted on every person's different channel, or choose one channel that has the biggest reach and then just post it there, and then post just the same video on all the channels. That way it reaches the most people. I think that would be fascinating. I think it'd be great for us to actually dig in, try and get some raw numbers. So that way we could really just say, guys, you really have no leg to stand on in the media because you have no idea what you're talking about. Here are our numbers. Here's what we found. So yeah, I would love to work collaboratively with those people. I've tried to reach out to Jeremy before, but I know Jeremy is so busy because obviously he's had everything going on with, you know, his getting his house rearranged, like as far as the studio being rearranged and all the craziness that happened with that. So I know a lot of these people are really busy, so they haven't been able to get in contact with me, but I mean, I'm always open to that. I would love to collaborate in some way. Slide Jones says, don't forget to thumbs up. Yeah, absolutely, guys. Please smash that thumbs up if you're in the stream right now. Again, it does not take very long, and it definitely means a lot to me. So just smash that like button before you go if you have to leave early. Sismara says, Ahmed is actually an amazing rapper. Check out Jazz Hole Forward Motion. He is awesome. I had no idea. He was a rapper. That's awesome. I'll have to go check that out. Yeah, I had no idea that he did that. So I think it's gonna be interesting to see this show that he's supposedly writing. I kind of hope it's like a one-man show where he kind of explains everything that he went through. I think it could be really powerful. And as I said in my video, guess who's gonna go see it? No members of the media that criticized him or criticized his character. It's gonna be the fan base. It's gonna be the Star Wars fans that come out in droves to go support him. I mean, I'm just being honest. Jedi Starship says, here, what's up, Jedi Starship? Welcome back to the chat. Jason Clark, what is up, Jason Clark? Welcome back to the chat. He says, hey, what's happening, everybody? Had to come hang out with Odin and the rest of my friends. Absolutely. This, again, we've said this several times before. This small group of people is just, it's just like we're becoming a family, and I love it. It's just fantastic. And so thank you for joining us once again, Jason Clark. Always welcome to have you here. Star Wars Dad says, I have info saying Disney plans on remaking episodes 4, 5, and 6. I'd be interested to see that information. I don't know why they would do that. I feel like they have no motivation to actually do that. It just doesn't make any sense. I could see them, you know, recasting the actors or the characters and making new stories. I just don't see why they would remake A New Hope, why they would remake any of those films. So I'd be interested in seeing that. Jedi Starship says, Steph, Tina, and Odin. Absolutely. I have Odin, and those two are my Valkyrie, and we are awesome. At least they are awesome. Donald Hudson, what's up, Donald Hudson? Welcome back to the chat. Hello, all, man. I am tired of reboots. Have whatever happened to originality? We talked about this in the stream, I think it was last night, where, yeah, absolutely. I mean, Hollywood has just really fallen away from providing good original stories, and it is really, really sad because it feels like every trailer that you see, every movie that's in theaters is essentially a reboot based on prior material or a sequel to something. And it really is interesting to see why Hollywood and how Hollywood is going to maybe try and make more original stories. I don't know. I would really like to see it, though, because it's not like original stories are bad. I mean, there are so many great original stories that come out every year, usually in the independent scene, and they're fantastic. At least a lot of them are fantastic. So it'd be really cool to see a more, you know, main budget push. Unfortunately, they don't sell as many tickets, and that's the reason why you oftentimes don't see them in the forefront. Adam Davies, what's up, Adam Davies? G'day, Odin. Hello, Asgard. Sorry I missed yesterday. No problem, Adam Davies. Always great to have you in the chat. Sister Mara says, vocal minority, you mean the shill media, right? Unfortunately, I don't think they're the minority. I mean, let's be honest, like they are absolutely the majority. It seems like at this point, because they're the ones that get, you know, the press passes. They're the ones that get all the leaks and everything, and they're the ones that are really closest to Lucasfilm and all these other companies. So, you know, they might call us the vocal minority, but in the end, they're the ones that have this big platform. So that's why I really do think that, you know, I've talked to a couple people today who are interested in starting on YouTube or starting a podcast. And I think it's important that we all get our voices out there to show just how, you know, just how much of a minority we actually are, because we know how large we are. They just haven't realized it yet. But episode 9, I think we'll speak a lot to them for sure. Let's see. Tina says, I'm hearing so many different views on Ant-Man and the Wasp from the YouTube channels I listen to. Some of you really like it and gave it high marks. Others were like, man. Yeah, again, it really just depends on you. I mean, everyone's different. Everyone has different likes. I mean, there are people that probably did not like the original Iron Man. There are people who did not like Avengers Infinity War. So, I mean, I wasn't a big fan of Black Panther, but I know a lot of people, a lot of friends of mine love Black Panther. So again, it just depends on what what interests you, what excites you in film. For me, Ant-Man was just fun. And that's the reason why I liked it. It was just a fun time. I wasn't going in expecting anything amazing, and I came out just pleasantly surprised. If you like the first Ant-Man film, you will likely like this one because it's pretty similar in its comedy. And so overall, I liked it a lot. Jason Clark says, thanks, guys. Nice to be back. Absolutely nice to have you back as well. Star Wars Dad says, son and I loved Ant-Man and the Wasp. Good to hear. Again, I know a lot of people that liked it, but also, as you were just saying, there are some people who are kind of mixed on as well, Tina. Super says that Hunchback movie is happening. Hopefully it won't be. If that Hunchback movie is happening, hopefully it won't be as terrifying as the 1930s adaptation. Something tells me that's going to be very Disney-fied because it's going to be a Disney remake, but I just don't want it to be like Beauty and the Beast. I hated the Beauty and the Beast live action film because it just, to me, was nothing like the original film. It had none of the magic of the original film. And what was even worse about it to me was that it, again, had that kind of agenda because there was all that controversy and all that media coverage about how LeFou was now coming out as gay or something to that effect. And I was like, why is this important to the story? Why can't LeFou just be LeFou? Like, that was never even a commentary or a subtext in the original film. Why is that all of a sudden becoming a thing? So I really don't want them to make this live action film anything like that and try and just, try and make too many changes. Like, as long as they can stay true to the original, only with live action, and maybe do some really cool things with that, that's what I'm looking for. I'm not looking for any of that nonsense. I really hope that, again, I don't think it's going to be anything like terrifying as the 1930s adaptation, that's for sure. But I really just don't want it to be like Beauty and the Beast either, because I hated the live action Beauty and the Beast. And it was sad because I thought Emma Watson, despite her, personal views on things, I thought that she was a perfect pick for Belle because she just looks so much like Belle. And unfortunately, it just was not a very good film. Darskibia says, I think Disney's Star Wars movies are more feminist than SJW, especially the way they are treating the Finn character. Well, I feel like they're kind of, I feel like they're cuts from the same cloth, especially with modern day feminism. Because obviously, when it comes to like actual real feminism, talking about equality and all those things, I mean, I don't think that that's what we're dealing with here. We are dealing with this very radical, I always like to say feminazi because it really is, it's just this radical viewpoint. And I definitely think that's like a sub part or a subgroup of SJWism personally. That's just my own personal view of it, but I appreciate the insight. Greta says, I just looked it up. The cast list that you saw is a wish list for someone. I don't think anything is official. I assume so. It definitely had that vibe to it, but I just wanted to double check. So thank you, Greta, for looking that up. So we do not have a live action yet, but man, if that was the cast, again, if you had Andy Serkis as Quasimodo and Gal Gadot as Esmeralda, just those two alone would be enough for me to go see the movie personally, because I love those two. Jedi Starship says there's always one thermal detonator amongst the fans. Sister Mara says there's a TMZ vid of Ahmed last year where they ask him about the fan backlash, and he says, I get more love than hate. Boom, right there. I mean, again, but how much coverage did I get? None. So actually, Sister Mara, if you can reach out to me on Twitter or anywhere and share with me that video, I would greatly appreciate it, because I would love to share that video just to show here's what's actually going on. Here's from the man himself who knows better than anyone else about what's actually going on and what actually happened back during the time the prequels came out. And I think it's very important to get, again, I think it's so important to get the truth out there, because what we want more than anything else, especially from our media, is the truth. Like, we just want honesty. Like, we don't want the spin. Just give us the facts, give us what is known, and then we'll figure out the rest from there. That's what the news used to be. It used to be, hey, here's what we know, and then you can determine, how you feel about it. But now all of a sudden this is how I feel about it, and now I'm presenting that as news, and that's just not reality. Again, it's just not grounded in reality. Super says, haven't seen any of the Planet of the Apes. Please don't be mad at me. I'm not mad at you, Super. But I would recommend, I've never watched the originals. I would definitely recommend the Andy Serkis trilogy, the Caesar trilogy that just was recently. So that's Rise of the Planet of the Apes, Dawn of the Planet of the Apes, and War for the Planet of the Apes. Dawn of the Planet of the Apes might be one of my favorite modern films because it's just a very good war film, especially. I would highly recommend it, but definitely check those out because I think they're good. I definitely think they're worth a watch. Jason Clark says Andy Serkis is one very talented individual. I really enjoy all of his work. Absolutely. I mean, because not only does he do all this amazing work with motion capture, but also people honestly don't know this, that during, I think it was The Hobbit, after he finished with the first Hobbit film, despite what you think about The Hobbit, after he finished with the first Hobbit film, which is the only film that Gollum is in, he stayed on to be the second unit director. So like, this is a very this guy has done pretty much everything in the film industry. He's been on screen, off screen. He has his own motion capture company. So this guy has done so much. I love Andy Serkis. He's fantastic. Tina says, I didn't see Phantom Menace until it hit home video, but I vividly remember the media ripping apart Jar Jar. Racist was their favorite word, that and fake Jamaican accent. You were absolutely right about that. Again, I remember that too, because I was, when those films came out, I was a child, so I actually got to see those in theaters. So that was like the Star Wars that I grew up with before I also watched the original films. And so, yeah, I remember too, just even as a kid, I remember all of the media backlash to that character because it was presented in such a way. Just like the same way the Trade Federation was also called out for being racist, for being stereotypical, or at least stereotyping. It seemed stereotyping Asian markets. So I can understand, because again, it's not that I can't understand that argument, but the fact is that it was the media that dragged his name and his character through the dirt. It was not the fans that did so. Despite there were fans that didn't like the character. When we actually talk about who was the most vocal person about it, it was the media at that time, for sure. Donald Hudson says, I love Andy Serkis. He's so precious. He really is. He's fantastic. He's wonderful. In fact, I like him. He was actually in 13 going on 30 with Jennifer Garner, which is actually, it's a weird film for me because I like it a lot. I saw it, I want to say 2 or 3 times in theaters. This was back, it came out probably when I was in high school. And that was when I was just going to the theater every weekend. I loved it so much. It was so much fun for me because it dealt a lot with time travel. I mean, hell, Mark Ruffalo is in that film too. He plays one of the older characters, after she time travels, essentially. And I liked it a lot. But one of my favorite parts of it is Andy Serkis, who plays her boss. And it's wonderful. It's fantastic. So definitely, I love Andy Serkis. Check out his work if you haven't done so already. In that film too, you have Andy Serkis doing, at one point, he is doing Thriller, and it's fantastic. It's wonderful. Let's see. Star Wars Dad says, has anyone seen the trailer for the new Dumbo? Tim Burton did it and looks amazing. Disney is putting out great stuff except for Lucasfilm. I would agree with you on that second point, that it seems like every other area of Disney is doing very well. I mean, with their Pixar connection, that's doing very well. When it comes to their other projects, Marvel, of course, it's doing really well. But, Disney is where it's, or rather Lucasfilm is where they're struggling. And what's the biggest difference there? Well, Kathleen Kennedy is running it. And obviously we know that they're not really being forward thinking there. And I think a lot of that has to do with her not being a forward thinking executive. Again, she might be talented at some things, but being a forward thinking executive, being able to take the Star Wars universe into the future, she is not that. And that's why I think she should step down. She should be fired because she's just not good for the franchise. As we've seen that just already with the numbers that we've seen. But when it comes to the trailer for Dumbo, I have seen it, and I will say I'm kind of mixed on it because I think that it could be really great. Tim Burton's been kind of hit and miss with his films lately. And my biggest concern is, of course, with the CGI animals, because I'm a very big critic of CGI. And I will say that the trailer it was hard for me to get through some of the scenes without saying, this just looks too CGI for me. This does not look very realistic. So, I mean, trailers always are never as good as the film itself. So I do still have some expectations for it, but we'll see what happens when the film itself comes out. But that's my own opinion. I'm not very excited for Dumbo overall, but I think that it could be interesting nonetheless. Let's see. Tina says, love Andy Serkis too. Have you heard you naming off his credits? Did you say King Kong? I did not, but he also worked on King Kong. Again, this guy has been involved in anything that has motion capture in it. He has either been involved as the actual actor doing the motion capture, or his company has been involved, especially with the films that have come out recently. He is so freaking talented, guys. Andy Serkis is awesome. Again, I know that there's never going to be, or at least the Academy is not going to ever be open up, at least for the time being, to motion capture performances. But if you look at any of the behind the scenes work that he did on Planet of the Apes alone, you realize this guy deserves an Oscar because he literally embodies the character. He becomes like the animal that he's playing, and it's fantastic. It's awesome. Yeah, I love Andy Serkis. He's fantastic. All right, people talking to each other. I always like to see that. Jeffrey Toon says, evening. What's up, Jeffrey Toon? Welcome back to the chat. Tina says, agree with that. I told She told me the other day that the media will be dragging Jake out next and blaming the fans for his issues. Well, absolutely they will. I'm surprised that they haven't done so already. I feel like there's been a couple of pieces that have mentioned that, but I feel like that one too. I think that if you're gonna use any story to attack the fans, or at least to attack a certain section of the fans, that would be the one. Because when it comes to Jake Lloyd, obviously, I think the media played a part in that as well, because they're the ones that ran all the stories, all the negative stories about his character and about his performance. So the media definitely had a role to play with that too. And as I said, the media is a lot more powerful. But I definitely feel like with that performance, especially, there were a lot of people that were very negative towards him. And that's where I feel like, but I feel like now, though, the fan base has just totally 180'd on it, saying, we do not want we despise anyone that's going to show hate towards him now because he was just a child. So I feel like if the media was going to go after anything, I think that's the one to go after, not the one that the guy says very specifically no, is the media backlash that led to, these struggles. I mean, I really do think that's something that is important. Donald Hudson says, Beauty and the Beast live action CGI film. Yeah, the CGI was really bad in the film too. That was one of my biggest critiques with it. I did not like it at all. So you're right about that. Super says, speaking of kind of conflicting opinions on Marvel movies, opinions on Edward Norton Incredible Hulk. Thank you for asking that question. So I've actually mentioned in this previous videos that I actually like the Edward Norton Hulk film. That's the 2008 version. So interesting story. When it comes to the MCU, the first film to come out was Iron Man, and everyone remembers it, and most people like it. The second film that came out the same year that people don't remember as well is the Edward Norton Hulk. And people just don't understand what that film did, because obviously Iron Man set the stage, but the Hulk kept the momentum going, because I remember seeing Hulk opening night and most of the reaction was very, very positive. I mean, people liked seeing it. The CGI worked pretty well. Obviously, it wasn't perfect, but Edward Norton did a very good job as Bruce Banner, so there was a lot of really great performances in it, and I overall like it a lot. I mean, I know that it probably hasn't aged nearly as well as some of the other films, specifically for the CGI, but I liked it. I really did. I mean, I thought Edward Norton was a really great Hulk, and I really like it. So again, I know that there might be some people that didn't like it, but I did. I really liked the first Hulk film, and that's one movie that I think I actually own that film, because again, I like it that much, and yeah, it's great. So I hope other people agree with that. Let's see. Greta says, I refuse to watch the live action Beauty and the Beast. It's my favorite Disney film, and I thought the casting of Emma Watson was a terrible choice. Well, Greta, I always do appreciate your opinions, because I know that you will always be able to have comments, especially on casting, being an actress yourself. So I do greatly appreciate that. So yeah, I can see why a lot of people would not like Emma Watson. I did personally, because I thought she had the look for it. Voice-wise, I mean, she was fine. She was passable, but definitely not the best that they could have done, that's for sure, especially since she's supposed to be, I mean, but this same problem goes back to the film as well. She's supposed to be French, and they cast a British actress. So there's a little bit of problems with that, especially when the only French character really in the entire film is Gaston, and that's just, that's not really, I kind of wish that they had filled that gap a little bit, that they had, fixed that problem a little bit, but they didn't. And I don't blame you. Yeah, I would say I don't think anyone should waste their time on the live action version, personally. I really don't. Let's see. Tina says, there was also the deal about Hermione refusing to wear a corset for some agenda reason, although a corset would have been appropriate for the time period. That annoyed me. Yeah, I mean, I know that there were a lot of stories that came out about her specifically with that role. And yeah, I mean, she's just been, if you watched her UN speech, she is definitely all aboard the feminazi SJW train. And so that's the reason why I don't want to really hear her or watch anything about, watch anything that she says outside of the films that she's making, because she is just full bore into that, which is kind of why I'm really glad that her movie The Circle just bombed so much, because it shows that she's not a box office draw if the film itself is not bad. Because, most, actors that many people would consider to rightly be box office draws could make a terrible film and still make money. So she proved with that she's not that box office draw. So I think she's better served in playing those indie roles, because, for example, my favorite role of hers post Harry Potter is definitely Perks of Being a Wallflower, because I think it's a great story. I think it's a great movie. So yeah, I understand where you're coming from with that, though. Star Wars Dad says, I am Gen 1 Transformer geek. I have the entire Gen 1 collection. Bumblebee has me so excited, and also the Optimus Prime solo movie. They have gone back to Gen 1 looks and story. The Bumblebee movie does look fun. I will say that it looks so different to me Obviously, there's similarities because it's still Transformers, but it looks different enough from a narrative perspective that I think I might actually watch it. I haven't seen any of the Transformers films since the first one. I think I've seen part of the second one. I've just had no interest. They just all look the same to me. And Bumblebee just looks a little bit different narratively, so I might actually go see Bumblebee for sure. I didn't know about the Optimus Prime one. I know that they had talked about it, but I didn't know that it was actually greenlit, so that should be interesting. Hudson says, "Did you get to watch the Deadpool musical?" I did, and I realized that I actually had already seen it, and I remembered why I loved it so much. Yes, so go watch that. Don't watch live action Beauty and the Beast. Instead, watch the Deadpool musical, which plays off of the song Gaston from Beauty and the Beast instead, and go watch that instead. It's a better use of your time, that's for sure. In fact, watch that one just like 100 times in a row, so that way it's about as long as an actual film itself, and then boom, you'll be much happier for it. Jason Clark says, I refused to see Beauty and the Beast because I knew it would have a heavy SJW influence. And it was really sad that it did. You know, obviously, I don't think it had as much as it could have had, but especially with the character of LeFou and, of course, with just Emma Watson being Emma Watson, it definitely still had that, you know, that feeling to it overall. Trevor Toon says, the end of live action Hunchback with Anthony Hopkins made me cry when I saw it as a child. I think it was the last film I cried at. Well, it's very nice to hear. I have not seen that one. The only Hunchback that I've ever seen, at least all the way through, is the Disney animated version, which I love personally because the score is fantastic. Let's see. System says, I don't have a Twitter, Odin, but I'll post the link on relevant video of yours. All right, that works too. I also now have an active email address, so that might be a way. So again, if anyone ever wants to contact me, if you want advice on anything, I mean, I'm still a very small channel compared to a lot of others, but if you are looking to get into YouTube or you're looking to start podcasting or anything like that, I have very limited knowledge, but I do have some knowledge, and so I can give you as much help as I can get. So you can just email me. It's just odinsmovieblog@gmail.com. So everything the way it's spelled on my Twitter, on the stream. So again, obviously just without the apostrophe. So yeah, just go ahead and, you know, email me, and yeah, you can send the link to me over email as well if you'd rather do that, if you want to have some commentary to it as well. Let's see. Jedi Starship says, what are the chances that the Lando scoundrel hero will be left alive when these posers, Kennedy, Abrams, Johnson killed everyone else? Yeah, it'll be interesting to see that. I don't even want to think about it. I don't want to think about these people who are currently running it to touch any other original characters because they've already shown themselves not to be capable of handling Luke Skywalker. And if you can't do Luke Skywalker right, then you have no right to do any of the other minor characters right, because Luke Skywalker is like the core to this universe. He was the one that the original films were really centered on. And if you can't do that character right, you probably can't do any of the minor characters right either. System says, warning though, it's a TMZ video, so the first half of is them harassing Ahmed on the street, and the second half is a bunch of fools talking worthless garbage in the TMZ studio. Skip to the second half. All right, well, thank you very much for that. Yeah, I mean, that's why, like, it's great to have TMZ sometimes because there's sometimes something worth looking at, but I hate TMZ overall as a concept, if that makes any sense. So obviously I'll watch that video because I do want to see it myself, and I do want to be able to share what Ahmed actually said about it, but at the same time, I think the whole concept of TMZ and the paparazzi is just disgusting. Like the fact, I remember I stage doored a show once, and someone had their young, you know, child with them, and they were literally, I think it was actually, I saw a play with oh my goodness, what's her name? So Tom Cruise's former wife, and she was in a play, and she had their daughter with her. And the paparazzi were like yelling the child's name, and it just made me so disgusted that they were just trying to like get this child's attention so that they could take a picture. So yeah, I mean, TMZ disgusts me. Jedi Starship says that new Bumblebee trailer had a Starscream that was closer to the original G1 than any previous movies. Kudos, but I still won't see it. And I respect that because it is still a Transformers film. So I don't know just how much it's going to try and break away from that universe. So I'm willing to give it a shot though, because again, the trailer makes it look different enough to the point where I would go see it. Deverton says, typos, that's no problem at all. Don Draper, welcome back, Don Draper. Always great to have you in the chat. With live action remakes, I'll be more on board if they do change the sexuality, genders, ethnicities of the character. If they commit to representing who they claim to, that makes more sense to me than redoing a shot-for-shot recreation. Okay, I can understand that to an extent, you know, putting their own flair on it. For me, it was more so that they were just changing a character altogether. It's very similar to what they did with Solo, where they made Lando Calrissian, who up to, you know, all of our knowledge was not a pansexual. They made him pansexual. And so I feel like it was that kind of thing that they try to do with LeFou, because when you watch back, LeFou is just this goofy sidekick who looks up to Gaston because he's very small and Gaston is very large, and there's no like gay subtext to it, and they just try to add it in, and it just felt very, very forced, and it just didn't work for me. So, but I can understand where you're coming from. Rat Boy says, Andy danced to Michael Jackson. Do your impression. Oh, man. I don't know if I can because my voice is just garbage tonight, but I'll give it a try since you asked, Rat Boy. Chamona. I think I did okay there, so just let me know. Donald Hudson says, I don't know. He'll get pretty cold around here. Hell gets okay. Sorry, I don't know. Hell gets pretty cold around here every 6 months. Snowballs hit hard around here. Wait, I'm thinking Michigan. My bad. Hey, same here in New Orleans. I mean, it gets so hot down here, and snowballs are so good. Mex says that's one of the reasons why I really enjoyed reading Darth Plagueis. It's on my list. It shows that Newt Gunray is an arrogant, highly ambitious, but highly incompetent idiot. Well, that's really great to see. So again, I cannot wait to dive into those books. Maybe since I'll be on vacation over the next few days, I'll have some time to dive in on either the flights or something to that effect. I don't know if Darth Plagueis is available on YouTube via, as a audiobook, but that might be one way that I try and listen to it and get through it, maybe on the flight to Chicago. So yeah, if you can link me to that, that'd be awesome. 70B's putting the alien symbol in. Is alien in the chat? We never know because he just decides to, step in every now and then, and it's awesome. Trevor Dune says this alien is the alien isn't in the chat, I don't think. Jedi Starship says Kennedy is toxic to the Star Wars franchise. She needs to stay in a position of money and not offer her personal views. I agree with you there. And also, I don't think she should be an executive because, again, what is the head of Lucasfilm supposed to do? What is her job? It's supposed to be, all right, I'm going to lay out the game plan for all of the future Star Wars films for the entire universe. She obviously has not done that. And if she has, she hasn't done it very well. And so therefore, if she can't do the main job that she has, she shouldn't have the job. And I think there's more people out there who not only are more creative than her and might be able to have more creative input, but also there are probably better executives who can be more forward thinking. So I agree with you. I don't think she's very good for the franchise at all. Jedi Starship says that is if they kept her. I really don't think they did. I mean, it just doesn't make sense. I mean, any other person that greenlit a decision that lost hundreds of millions of dollars for a company would not be around, and it just doesn't make sense to me. Jalen Clark says Lucasfilm right now is the red-headed stepchild of Disney. Cobra Kaiser Soze says Kathleen Kennedy and Ryan Johnson sold their souls to worship at the altar of SJWs and feminism. Clearly, I would agree with you there. MX says, did you see Andy Serkis reading Trump's tweets as Gollum on Stephen Colbert? So yeah, I'm not a huge fan of Stephen Colbert. I think that he just doesn't really get it. Like he's so political, and I just hate that. Like I feel like what late night shows used to be was let's listen to some really well-crafted jokes for about an hour and a musical performance and some guests, and just, again, it's about escapism. And instead I feel like all late night shows now are just so over politicized, his being the most. But yes, I did see that, and it's great. It is fantastic. It actually is, to me, it's very spot on. In fact, those are the words I feel like that Gollum is best meant to read for sure. So yes, I have. Tina says, I just typed Alien's name and he didn't come up yet. He's probably in some kind of stealth mode we're not seeing. I know. I really do think that he might, at this point, because he doesn't want to be seen, he might sign out, watch the chat, and then sign it at the very end just so that he can just so that he can say bye, because that's sure as heck how it seems like. Let's see. The Star Wars dad says Bob Iger has to get the house in order so it doesn't ruin his run for president. Yeah, I know that that's something that Jeremy's talked about a lot, saying that he really does think Bob Iger might be prepping a run for president, and he would not want to do that having one of the large properties that they own not doing well. So yeah, I agree with you. I think that might be a motivating factor for him. Trevor Dune says, and to think Andy Serkis wasn't very keen on playing Gollum because people couldn't see him. Best career move ever. I know, really. I mean, that put his career in motion because now he is very well known for being that live action, or rather that what I'm trying to think, that motion capture actor. But not only that, but now he's directing films too. And his first film was Breathe. It was a solid B film. It was very well done. So yeah, I mean, it's so great. I mean, it was really the best choice he made because it put him in a position to be able to test things, because especially with motion capture, he didn't have to be on set every single day. There were times that he could be off. And so that's what allowed him to be, a second unit director, and to really get that knowledge of directing and just creativity, just, even more so. And so, yeah, absolutely. Best career move for sure. You are absolutely right about that, Jeffrey Toon. Let's see. N7 Myth. Hello there. What's up, N7 Myth? Eon01 says she weren't French in the animated movie. Exactly. That's what I said. Like, you would think that they might have tried to fix that in the live action. That was the point I was trying to make, is that it was wrong in both, but casting a British actress especially just does not fix the problem at all, is the point I was trying to make. Don Draper says representation doesn't count for the French. Apparently it doesn't. You're right. Hey, you know what? You're right about that. Meg says, despite his skill as an actor, Edward Norton has such a toxic reputation that most people in Hollywood don't want to work with him. Yeah, I have definitely heard that. I heard he's very difficult to work with, that's why I loved Birdman, because I felt Birdman, the actors playing those roles were able to bring their own personality into it, and they kind of play on that fact that Edward Norton's very difficult to work with, and it was really funny because of that. But yeah, I totally agree with you there. It still doesn't take away from me that I liked his performance in The Hulk. Greta says, I think Emma Watson's best role was Hermione, and I was a huge Harry Potter fan and admired her. Her films afterward, especially her acting, have been lackluster. Yeah, I agree with you. Again, Perks of Being a Wallflower was fine, but when it comes to the other work that she's done, I haven't been a huge fan of it. But I will say that it's funny because my wife's fine with Emma Watson, but will still agrees saying that she wasn't the best casting choice. That there was a lot of casting issues that happened with the Harry Potter films. She's a huge Harry Potter book fan. Don Hudson says, bonjour, your cheese-eating surrender monkeys. Jedi Starship says, EU aside, Kennedy and Johnson and Abrams did see the original OT movies, and yet all these years later, still can't touch on the simple premise they held for fans. Yep, I agree with you. And it's really sad because you think it would be very simple, especially since they have that rich history to go off of, and you're absolutely right. Eon001 says, box office draws are a myth. Audiences are smarter now. Yes, they are, because now we can read reviews. Now we can see, leaks. We can see spoilers. We can see all these other things that affect whether or not we want to spend the money on the film. And it really is a point, like, especially now that movie tickets cost so much, not everyone's going to want to spend money on a ticket for a movie that they heard was garbage. So you're absolutely right about that. Trevor Toon says, the interesting thing, DC was on the top with Dark Knight trilogy at the time. The MCU was meh. Do you think the Dark Knight trilogy altered the direction of the EU? If you mean the DCEU, I'm not exactly sure. I know that a lot of people compare Man of Steel to Batman Begins, where they try and go with a more, a darker, more realistic tone. But the problem is that doesn't work for Superman. So it could have affected it, but I really do think the blame is more on Zack Snyder and his own direction and his own creative style that has affected the EU overall. I think Zack Snyder has had much more of an impact on the DCEU than the Batman, or rather the Dark Knight trilogy. Good question. Super says, Emma Watson's UN speech was a feminist damage control. Yeah. Oh my goodness. It was, I can't even get through it. I really can't. N7 Myth says, I watched Transformers 1 through 4, always liked them as popcorn films. Yeah, I feel like the same argument to be made for Jurassic World. There's been some people who've said, Jurassic World 2 is not very good, but I think that's, as long as you know that it's popcorn film, that you will enjoy it. The reason why, for me, I'm not really as keen to do that with Transformers is because some of them just were really, really bad. Like, because I think Jurassic World 2 is getting that rep now of being a really bad film, but still being a popcorn film. But I feel like I think almost all the Transformer films, just none of them were very good. Jason Clark says, 2008 Hulk film was really great film. I enjoyed it. Glad to hear that. Donald Hudson says, yes, Deadpool musical. Oh my goodness, it was so good. Tina says, the Deadpool musical rocks. I'll try to find the link again for you all. If you haven't seen it, yes, please check it out. It is fantastic. It's awesome. Star Wars Dad says, problem with Lucasfilm is KK identifies as a man as penis envy. Oh man. Will Last Name Guy, what's up, Will Last Name Guy? Welcome back to the chat. Says, only purple pants can stretch like that. Let's see. N7 Myth says, Lando has been confirmed for 9. What's your take? Yeah, so again, I would like to see the character. I would like to see Billy D. Williams back, but they've ruined his character with Solo, and also I don't trust these people with any of the characters. So yeah, so it's one of those things where it's like, well, if there's a major change, I'll be excited, but since there doesn't seem to be one, I don't think it's going to be good. Let's see. Dalhaza says, this deal gets worse all the time. It really, really, really does. And then Tina just posted the link for at 8:35. She posted the link, so I'm about 12 minutes behind now. So Tina says that just posted the link to the Deadpool musical. Please, guys, go check it out. It is awesome. It is fantastic. And yes, the guy is seriously a dead-on Ryan Reynolds. It's fantastic. Adam Davies says, is Brad still AWOL? No, he actually showed up in the chat. He's been, I feel like, in the last couple of chats. So Brad is still alive. Brad has been joining us, and he's still just as much of a troll as ever. Random game user with the wave. Hello, Random. How are you doing? Go check out her channel. She is awesome and fantastic. Random says, lots of streams on tonight at the same time. Yeah, I mean, I heard that EVS just went live when I did, and then I heard that Jeremy was still live streaming as well. So yeah, a lot of people live streaming tonight. Lando Calrissian with the fist. What's up, Lando? How's it going? Trevor Toon says, I think I've said it before, Lando being a POC may be in his favor. Could be. Could be. Donald Hudson says, I think Brad stays away because we look forward to his antics. I know he wants to come when we least expect it, so that way he can have fun with the trollery. Trevor Toon says, everybody's streaming. Everyone's streaming. Damn. Lando says, golden stream. Oh, Lando, get your Pando ass out of here, man. Donald Hudson says, we love you, Lando Calrissian. Please don't let Disney ruin you. Unfortunately, I feel like if Billy D. Williams is asked to continue on in the solo version of Lando, the character's well beyond saving. Trevor says, you would say that, Panda. Will Last Name Guy says, this is the only live stream that matters. So, well, thank you very much. Well, I do greatly appreciate it. And I appreciate everyone that joins me every night, because I know that these other streams are going on. I know that a lot of y'all came from those streams. So the fact that y'all now watch mine, it just really means a lot to me. So thank y'all so much. I mean, I say it, and I don't know if it always comes across, but I'm just so thankful for every single one of you guys for being here, for being a part of this, and for, you know, giving me something, very, like, that's not normal. Like, it's not what most people have to look forward to. And I look forward to it every night. So thank you very much, Will Last Name. I do appreciate that. And Seven Miss says that was good. Well, I'm glad I got the Michael Jackson impersonation on. Donald Hudson says, never Lando. Last Name Guy says, that was a good MJ impersonation. You really captured his essence. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate that. Alien, he is not here. Alien, once again, with the sneak attack. I love Alien so much. Yes, Alien. Always great to have you here, Alien. Fantastic. 70B again with the alien head. Alien, hello. N7 says, by the time you read this, it is 4 a.m. where you are. Oh my goodness, yeah, it's 8:49 p.m. where I am. So, man, it's 4 a.m. N7 Myth, go to bed, dude. Like, again, I always appreciate y'all being up this late, but sometimes I'm like, how are y'all doing that? I could not do that and get up the next day. Mech says, just a heads up, it looks like Darth Plagueis is available to listen to on YouTube. The reader's voice is very deep and soothing too. Very nice to see. So, Mex, if you could send me a link on Twitter, or send me the link via to my email address, or get one of my Valkyrie to find it for you, to post it, I would greatly appreciate that, because I would love to download those before tomorrow, so that way I can listen to those on my flights, because then I could start diving into these novels and find out more about it. So, yes, thank you very much. Let's see. Everyone's from far away, so it's the same time for everyone. Super says, sorry I dropped out of the chat. I had to take a break to eat a Frosty. Random question, opinions on classic literature. Any favorite classic novels? Well, first off, kudos to that Frosty shout out. I love Frosties. Wendy's is one of my favorite fast food restaurants, and I love Frosties. I haven't had one in a very long time, but I love them. They're fantastic. So you can always drop out of this chat to enjoy a delicious chocolate Frosty. But as far as classic literature, so I assume you mean things like Dracula or Frankenstein, or, like, again, I guess classic literature. So I'm kind of mixed on that, because I've mentioned this before in the chat, where I really wish I could get into reading. I really do wish I could be a hardcore reader, but my ADD makes it very, very hard to do so. So when it comes to classic literature, especially because it's so well written, and because it uses just the English language very well, sometimes it's very dense, and so it's very hard for me to understand and to be able to follow, especially since my mind's all over the place. So I don't really have one off the top of my head. I do like Frankenstein, though. So if I had to choose one, I would say Frankenstein. I do like Frankenstein a lot. And actually, there was a adaptation of Mary Shelley's Frankenstein into a musical. It was an off-Broadway musical called Frankenstein the Musical. I got to go see it. It was awesome. And it's funny, because when I went to go see it, it was when the show was still new. And so they started to film people as they were coming out, asking if they would do a review. And if you did a review, got like a free poster. So, of course, I jumped on that. And so I ended up doing it. And my video was the first video you saw on their compilation on the website. So actually, if you want to see a young college age me, you can go to, I think it's frankensteinthemusical.com. Please check it out. Let me know if that video is still up there, because last time I checked it was, and you'll see it. It's like in the corner, and it's like an autoplay video, I think. And let me know if it's still up there. And you'll see I'm the first person in that video if it's still up there, and I love it. So yeah, Frankenstein would definitely be the one. I love the musical a lot more though. Music's so fantastic. Jason Clark says, it's hot where I am. It's 95 degrees right now, and it's 7:40 at night. That is miserable. I mean, it's around the same temperature for me right now, and it's even, it's like 52, and it's around the same temperature, so I understand that it sucks. Let's see, Super says, Stephen Colbert is unbearably irritating. What makes it even worse for Stephen Colbert for me is that he's a he is a self-identifying Catholic, and I feel like a lot of the things that he says is kind of questionable with Catholicism, but that's a whole other topic for another video. That's a question and a topic I would have covered on the stream I did last night, where it was an open forum, but not tonight. Last name guy says, where is that, Jason? Yeah, I was talking about in the link, I think. Don Draper says, Iger for president. He got cucked at his own shareholders meeting. Yeah, I mean that's just what Jeremy thinks is going to happen. I don't really know Bob Iger or his story enough to say one way or the other, but I think that's what Jeremy thinks is going to happen. And you know what? In today's age, with Trump as president, I mean, I wouldn't put it past anyone at this point for to at least run for president. Jedi Starship says, nah, so now they are officially Solo and Bando. Yeah, unfortunately, it seems that way. Last name guy says, I was so disappointed when I found out Colbert would replace Letterman. Terrible choice. Yeah, well, I feel like Letterman really started to go off the rails towards the end. To me, the perfect replacement would have been, oh man, I'm trying to think. I'm thinking of NBC instead, because I was very angry when Conan O'Brien got the job for the Tonight Show. I thought he was perfect for it, and nothing against Jimmy Fallon, but I was very upset that he wanted his job back, and that I feel like Conan got screwed. And Conan's probably one of my favorite late night comedians right now. I don't watch him really anymore, but out of all the ones that if you were to ask me which person would you like to watch, I can tell you that I would want to burn every copy of Jimmy Kimmel's show for obvious reasons, and then I would watch Conan O'Brien because he's so funny. The one skit I miss so much from when he used to be on a different show, I think it was like the Late Late Show that he was on. He would, or it may have been a different name, but he would pull this lever, and it was the Walker Texas Ranger lever, and it would play a random clip from Walker Texas Ranger, and it was, oh my goodness, it was so funny. Sorry for the tangent. So Sister Mara says, laughing at Iger running for president, he'll do as well as Solo at the box office, probably. Lando says Harry Potter is tight. I agree. I like the movies. I own them all. I do enjoy them. Let's see. Jason Clark says, sorry, I meant to say real low humidity. We have extremely high humidity, and so it's absolutely miserable right now. RT says, me too, Will. RTE, welcome back to the chat. Always great to have you here. Star Wars Dad says, Man of Steel was the worst. Yeah, for me, it's probably for me, besides Wonder Woman, it's the best DC film. So it's the one that I would watch next if I had to watch the DC films. But other than Wonder Woman, I don't think I'd want to watch any of the DC films again, honestly. Adam says, Lando, barely any convenience. Super says, Iger is a multimillionaire, and even though politics is a lot about money, I don't see Democrats being able to back him openly. Would appear a little too hypocritical in my opinion. Yeah, but I mean, that's what politics is. Politics is all about being hypocritical. I mean, sorry, when was the last time you saw someone in mainstream politics who wasn't being a hypocrite? I mean, let's be honest about that. System says, Odin, thanks for shouting out Anti-Hero Fett. He shouted back at you and said you were very likable, and you are. Well, thank you very much. I appreciate it. Again, I don't mind shouting anyone out because I know that I'm very small, and I'm appreciative for every person that's a part of this. And so I have no problem shouting people out, especially if you have a YouTube channel. Just link it to me. Send me a message on Twitter or send me an email. Again, odinsmovieblog@gmail.com. Send me an email. I'll check it out when I can, and if I like what I see, and if I think that it's something that I would like to have my like for me to promote, then I will promote it. And I don't really have a whole lot of reservations about those kinds of things. So let's see. And John, so yes, thank you very much. So I just got the audio playlist in the email, so thank you very much for that. Jason Clark says, Birdman was awesome. I was laughing and cracking up the whole time watching the movie. Oh my goodness. I really did love it a lot. And it was so innovative too. There's the fact that they were able to make the movie look like it was all taken in one take, and just the very creative ways they were able to put their cuts in. I love it. It's so fantastic. Y'all are talking to each other. Davey says, yeah, Anti-Hero Fett is awesome. Jeffrey Toon says, the problem with these empowered actresses is their films that are successful are in already popular franchises. The other films they star in tend not to do so well at the box office. Yep. I agree with you there. Definitely agree with you. Mex says, did Brad find Lord and Miller? According to EVS, they've been missing since they were fired by KK. Well, once their film, so they actually did come out of hiding on Twitter at least, and it was actually really funny. There's been a lot of subtle jabs at Kathleen Kennedy and Lucasfilm with their new film, the Lego Movie 2 coming out. So when the trailer for that dropped, they became active on social media again, and we saw some really great jabs. So check them out on Twitter because there were, at least in the very beginning when the trailers were coming out, some really subtle jabs on that, including one where they're like, oh, we get to make a space movie. So I thought that was fun. So maybe says, oh, so humble. Thank you. I appreciate that. Oh, Stephanie, you always do that to me. Landis says, that's it, Odin. Give in to your hatred and your journey will be complete. I feel like some people in this chat are trying to turn me into a Sith Lord. I really do. Donald Hudson says, I find this chat with all of you to be cathartic and enlightening. Love these live chats. Well, thank you, Donald Hudson. I always appreciate you being here, and I'm so glad that it is cathartic for you. And, we always do try to keep it light here. We always try to have fun and to do what we can. So thank you very much for that. And Seven says, I fell asleep on my couch on 6, woke up at 12. Oh, my goodness. Okay. Well, it sounds like you then got some sleep. Lost Soldier, what's up, family? What's up, Lost Soldier? We missed you last night. Your son made an appearance in the chat. So thank you for joining us once again. How is Alaska? Please let us know. Are the mosquitoes as bad as I suspect that they are? Please let us know. Super says, yesterday I was up until 5:30 a.m. Late night champion. Yes, Super, you are a late night champion, as are anyone that is watching in the UK. Whoever watches, y'all are always the champions because I know how late it is right now for y'all. And then, of course, for all my people in Australia, who are, I think there's like 2 or 3 people in Australia, it's always very early for you, or it's like mid-afternoon for you guys. So I hope that this time continues to work for you. Let's see. Jedi Starship says, I have a serious question. How does a slave boy who works in the stables not force pull a couple of Canto Bite casino chips into those palms? Very, very, very good question. Again, someone who obviously knows he is force sensitive, since he knows he can move a broom just by thinking it and just by, using the force. You would think that he would use that to his advantage, and he doesn't. So that's a very good question. Jedi Starship says, plot mistake. That kid should be rich. Yes, you are right about that. But there are so many plot holes. Again, we're still several months on from that movie coming out, and we are still finding more and more plot holes and problems on a daily basis. So Mayor says, yeah, Max, the funniest thing is that Mangold wouldn't even be doing Boba Fett if the studio hadn't already fired Trank for being too bold and risky. What an idiot he is trying to be blaming fans. Yeah, exactly. Like, seriously, stop blaming the fans, guys. It's not going to help your business at all. Max says, I have that link for Odin, but I don't use social media. Do you know his email address? So hopefully you got it. So thank you very much. Please send that to me. Also says, do Audible, brother. I've done Audible before. I just don't listen to enough audiobooks very often to justify keeping a subscription. And so, yeah, I do like Audible, though. I think it's a really great service. So if you like reading, if you like books, it's an excellent service to get. But just personally, I just don't read enough, and so I would rather get it by a YouTuber, one of those means, but I appreciate that still. RT says, because he's in the stables, not in the casino, Jedi. Yeah, but, I mean, he has the Force, so why isn't he using that to his advantage in some way? Don Draper says, Frosty, I can't hear the name without thinking, Frosty, I can't think of that leprechaun who wears black nail polish like he's headed to a Nin show at 94 over at Collider. Oh, I don't even know who you're talking about. But yeah, there's some questionable characters at Collider, that's for sure. Jedi Starship Rose, he can force unlock the latch. Very, very, very good point to the stables. So they're having a conversation now. RT says Craig Ferguson should have replaced Letterman, but then he retired too. I did like Craig Ferguson. I watched very little of Craig Ferguson, but of what I saw, I did like him a lot. I feel like that he was more of a comedian than the others for sure. He tried to rely less on political nonsense, it seemed. And Seven says, Tico Paths Unite. Damn right. Still waiting to find my $1 roast Tico action figure. Don Draper says, I just watched the Late Shift HBO movie about Letterman and Leno from 96. It still holds up. Very nice to hear that. All right, awesome. My wife likes documentaries, so it sounds like that's a documentary, so that might be something to look into. RT says, evening, Odin. Yes, indeed. A Dude's Thoughts. What's up, a Dude's Thoughts? Welcome to the chat. Man of Steel was pretty good, in my opinion, with some issues. Yeah, again, I can understand why some people like it. It's just too dark for me. And also, I'm sorry, Superman does not kill. So the ending just ruins everything else up to that point. And also, not only does he kill, he kills the best villain that has yet to exist in the DCEU. Name one other villain that's as good as Zod, played by Michael Shannon. You're not going to be able to find one because Michael Shannon is one of the best actors working in Hollywood right now, and his Zod was fantastic. So that's my thoughts on that. Lost Soldier says, I'm not looking forward and am looking forward to the Aqua Dude movie. Very mixed feelings. I understand that. Like, I still want to see it because I do like Jason Momoa, but I just have no reason to be excited for the film. So I'm still going to go see it because I want to see the films to review them and talk about them and to, speak from a place of knowledge and understanding. And so I'm going to go see it, but I'm definitely not excited for it. That's for sure. Don Draper says, Man of Steel made me relate to Superman Clark Kent. It hit the adoption angle right on the head. Speaking as an adopted child, it took me 3 times to notice it, though. Well, that's awesome. So it seems like you were able to connect to something in the story. So that's why I can understand why you liked it. And again, I respect your opinion for, liking the film. I just don't like it for the reasons that I just stated. Trevor Toon says your subs are rising 1.3 K now. I know it's been absolutely insane. Like, I can't believe that we're almost a week away from when I hit 1K and I did the live stream in the Chewbacca onesie, and to know that I've risen over 300 subs over that time is just insane. So thank y'all so much. I mean, that just comes from y'all and for y'all being so supportive. And again, I wouldn't be doing this without y'all. So thank y'all so much. And I do greatly appreciate that. And also, it reminds me, just hit that like button. Again, it doesn't take very long and it does help me out. So thank you very much. But yes, Trevor Toon, thank you. I do appreciate that. So that's why I'm really hoping that eventually, hopefully, they said that monetization I should know within a week. And so I think Wednesday, Thursday is when the week will be up. So hopefully I find out by then. So that way, hopefully I can get an idea of when I can start to give y'all gifts in these live streams and also invest in a better camera for the live streams and videos too. So thank you, Differtune. I appreciate that. And also too, I know there's been a couple people who said, I want to give you super chats, which I appreciate. You don't have to. Once super chats go live, you do not have to give me one. I will still read all the comments. I don't want to fall. I mean, obviously, there might be a time when I'll be more limited, but I never want to be the person that just reads super chats. I want to read everyone's comments because I don't want people to feel like they have to give money to be heard or to be read. So I definitely still plan on doing that. But if you're in that place where you do want to do things like that, I do now have a Patreon page. It's going to be in the link to this video. And so if you want to, you can. I'm not asking you to. You do not have to. But again, it helps me, and I'd appreciate it if you would, but you don't have to. Still, everything's going to be the same. Nothing's going to change at this point. Jedi Starship says, the only gripe I had about Green Lantern was too much humor, so Reynolds wasn't right for the role, and some of the constructs were crap. My biggest problem was the CGI was terrible. I couldn't get past that. The CGI was so bad, I couldn't get past it. That's my biggest problem. Super says, yeah, I'm kind of the same way. Hearing that the movies and TV shows I love started out as books made me want to go read. Not a classic, but I've read first Game of Thrones book in 2 weeks. Yeah, I like the first Game of Thrones book. I've read the first Game of Thrones book, and I started the second one, but again, reading for me is a struggle. That's why I'd rather do an audiobook because my brain's able to process that a lot easier than words on a page. So thank you once again for, I forgot who sent the email to me, but thank you for sending me that list. I do greatly appreciate that. RT says, I didn't mind Green Lantern personally. Again, you're entitled to an opinion, but I couldn't get past the really garbage. I mean, at least I think we can all admit that the CGI was garbage. I think that that's more of an objective point of view. And for me, y'all know that I'm a huge CGI nut. And when it's not done well, it ruins a movie for me. And so that's why I didn't like it personally. Lost Soldier says, I also like Man of Steel, but not their best. Hard to top Nolan's Batman. I totally agree with you for sure. Dude Thoughts says, dude, you may be small, but a lot bigger than my channel, but I am working on it. Hey, Dude's Thoughts, keep on working at it. Keep on, again, I never thought I was going to get to this point. So all you got to do is just keep on working, put in the groundwork, try and network too. I know one of the best things that helped me was trying to reach out to someone that I liked. So if there's someone that you like, if there's someone that you follow, that you appreciate their content and you feel like that they might be able to help, reach out to them. For me, it was Jeremy for Geeks and Gamers. He was able to give me a lot of advice about videos and about what I should do, best ways, best practices, things of that sort. So it was a very great help. And then also because he liked my content, because I sent him a video or two and he watched it and liked it, he started to promote my channel as well. And so that also helped. And so networking is a very, very big thing. So yeah, dude's thoughts, just keep working at it. Again, never say never. I never thought I was going to be here. I mean, at the rate we're going, we're going to hit 2,000 probably by the end of the month, which is just insane to me. And so, and never say never. Keep on working at it. Keep on putting the grind in, because it will definitely work out one day for sure. Trevor Toon says, so many people missed the Chewy onesie live. I know a lot of people did. That's why I'm thinking once we hit, because I know that at 5K, as we've talked about already, it's going to be me in the parking lot of a Popeyes dressed in a Chewbacca onesie, you know, streaming from my car. I know that's already been decided. Probably we'll do some other things too on that day. But for 2,000, I might be able to bring the Chewbacca onesie back. And for that, maybe I'll do something special with the Chewbacca onesie. So, you know, something to think about. And so Miss says, for me, religion is hypocritical too. Personal belief is fine, but as soon as it becomes organized, it transforms into power play. Yeah, I'm not going to get into religion on this live stream. Save those. Anytime that you see a title for the video say open forum, that's when I'll be willing to dive more into off movie pop culture topics like religion or politics. So N7 just save that thought, because I do have a lot of thoughts on that when it comes to organized religion, as I am a practicing Catholic. But yeah, hold off on that for now. Adam Davies says, I was sure Lord and Miller were hiding with Jimmy Hoffa. SMS says, come to the dark side. We have the cookies. Well, I have the cookies right now, so I don't know what you're talking about. I have all the digital cookies. Tina says, that was amazing. We're talking about the Chewbacca onesie. Yeah, I know. So it is still on YouTube. It's the 3.5-hour live stream. I can't believe that we went for that long. But yeah, so go check it out if you want to go see it, because you can see me in my furry glory. Last name guy says, I'll check out your channel out, dude. And again, that is why this community is great, because we all support each other. So yeah, definitely go check out his channel, check out his content, you know, give him a subscribe if you want to. And yeah, go support him, because again, this is a small community, but we all try and help each other as best we can. So thank you very much for that, Will. Donald Hudson says, actually, Odin has the cookies. Damn right. Damn right. Thank you, Donald. And you know what, Donald? Because you pointed out the obvious, Donald, you now have a digital cookie for the night. Nom on it. Enjoy it. It's fantastic. Mex says, I prefer to think of you as an Angti monk. Yes. I think we've decided that I am an Angti monk and I'm not a Sith or a Jedi. And especially your description of those two things, of that group, I definitely connect most to the monks for sure. RT says, it's midday right now, so this time works for me. Awesome. Great to hear that. Super says, I would read whenever I got spare time, on lunch, bus ride. I realized reading for me is very much about getting it. If you can connect, it feels like no work or time has passed by. And again, I can understand that. For me, that's movies. So that's how I watch movies, and that's why I love watching movies, because I can just fall into it. I can't do the same, because just my ADD keeps me from falling into books in the same way. So, but I'm glad that you can, and I really wish I could have that. But I'm glad I have that with movies, because movies are a huge passion of mine. So that's awesome. Last name guy says, man, I work second shift, so I get home around the time you start. Okay, well, I'm glad that you get home around the same time that I start. So it seems like, because it seems like you're usually in the chat. So I'm glad to see that that works for you. Lost Soldier says, Alaska is beautiful. The team here is great. They say sorry more about bears more than mosquitoes. Say worry about bears more than mosquitoes. LOL, not LOL. That sounds terrifying. So thanks for that update. In fact, when we were in Alaska, one of the trips we went on, we did see some bears, so that was really fun. System says, that was funny when the dog farted and Odin thought it was a poo. Yes, that was the same live stream. Yeah, it was funny because I think you even said, System Error says, this might be history. We might see the first live stream where someone has to pick up poo, which luckily was not the case. Last time I'm going to say, is it true you get paid to live in Alaska? I don't know about that. I know that they offer really good jobs, and a lot of them offer housing for people who work, because it's very seasonal. So if you work in Alaska for the season, I think that they do take care of you to an extent. I don't know if they pay you to live. I guess that is the same thing. So I think you might be right. The Popper. What is up, the Popper? Welcome to the chat. I like that name. It's all about those midichlorians. Yep, Bob the midichlorian and his wife, Nancy. That's what I always like to say. Let's see. Lost Soldier says, by the way, Odin, all your talk of Doomcock made me check him out. Love it now. Awesome. Glad that you did that. So, I mean, he's great. So yeah, definitely check him out. So I'm glad that you found him. I need to watch more of his stuff personally. I've seen some of his stuff, but I want to see more of it, because I love his Twitter alone is great. So I need to see more of his videos. Jedi starts up. Yeah, Tina, how many YouTubers are willing to wear a Chewbacca suit and suffer the heat for their audiences? I know, as I said before, I'm in New Orleans, Louisiana. Even though it's air conditioned in here, it's still hot. Got a light on me, all these other things. So it was so hot in that thing. But no, it was totally worth it to do that for y'all because y'all are awesome. And so Miss says, here's the first plot hole. They were evacuating from their base, but forgot to fuel up the Raidus just to be able to run out of fuel. Yep. You are exactly right. That's the biggest plot hole for sure. Let's see. Don Hudson says, time to rush the Angti monk. He's got our cookies for Valhalla. Well, good luck with that, Donald Hudson. I just gave you one, man. Now I might have to rescind it. Maybe I should start rescinding digital cookies for comments like that. Maximus, what's up, Maximus? Maximus, it's been so long since you've been in the chat. Guys, go check him out on Twitter. Maximus, thank you so much for joining us. He says, just jumped out of the Bifrost. What's up? Hey, good to have you here, man. Welcome to Asgard. As always, great to have you here, Maximus. Jason Clark says, my 11-year-old niece won 2 tickets for Solo from a church potluck raffle and wants Uncle Jason to take her. Ooh, well, it's free. So the movies, they've already gotten the money from you because they already bought the tickets. So you might as well just to see, what it's all about. I wouldn't feel too bad about that, other than having to suffer through that movie. Maybe you can convince her to go see something else like Incredibles, like, a movie that she probably would like a lot more. Let's see. Jarvertine says Doomcock is eternal. Last name guy says, I don't know. It's just something I heard. Okay. 70B says Doomcock is hella cool. He definitely seems like it for sure. Super says Greg Ferguson is a champion. I love how patriotic he was. He was super funny too. Yeah, and that's why I like him. Jefferson says Greg Ferguson was a stand-up in the UK. He's in the series 1 of Red Dwarf from 1987. That's good to know. RT says he deconstructed the C-hat format, which is why I liked him. I feel like a lot of people liked him for that reason. RT says confidence and paranoia. Super says video has been linked. Awesome. Sounds good to me. Cannot wait to check it out. Lost Soldier says I'd settle for cookies. Jedi Starship says I like Doomcock. There aren't too many 80s vibe cheesy but fun personalities anymore. That is very, very true. RT says cha cha cha. Cobra Kaiser Soze says I'm now following you on Twitter. Cool page, brother. Well, thank you very much, Cobra Kaiser Soze, which is again is an amazing Twitter name. I mean, amazing YouTube name. I hope it's the same on Twitter because that's an amazing name. So thank you very much. I appreciate that. Sammy says, did you know that Cecil is following me on Twitter? Yes, he's following me now on Twitter as well. And it was one of the biggest highlights of my life when I saw the notification saying Cecil is now following you on Twitter. I loved it. And Stephanie, don't be afraid. Don't be afraid. Cecil is love. Cecil is life. Cecil is Bay. The Force is Cecil. And he's awesome. So you should be happy and proud that he is following you on. I think something that would make my life even more complete is if he made an appearance during a live stream once. I think that'd be awesome. Sizamara says the funniest Last Jedi plot hole I heard is that objects float freely in space at constant speed. So fuel is only needed for acceleration. So the speed fuel stuff makes no sense. That is an excellent point. Yes, because there's no friction. And so therefore, once it's moving, it doesn't need to use fuel in the same way for that reason. So that is an excellent point. There are so many plot holes. Oh my goodness, you're so right about that. And so Miss says, join the like side of the Force. Yes, join the like side of the Force. Adam Davies says, sorry, Asgard, I got to split. Be safe. Everyone talk to you soon. Hey, Adam Davies, I know that things are crazy. So absolutely. Thank you for joining us once again, Adam Davies. You are a regular here at the chat. You are a regular here in Asgard. So always great to have you here, Adam Davies. Thank you for joining. So NJE103 Egg. Hi, everyone working tonight. Well, what else is new, Egg? Last night was the first night that you were off. And so it was great to have you active in the chat. But hey, we're always glad to have you even when you're working. So thanks for being here once again. Will Last Name Guy says the Last Jedi's entire plot is a hole. Yep, you are right about that. That is an extremely accurate statement. Jeff Cano, what is up, Jeff Cano? Go check out his channel. He says, may the Force be with you guys. Odin, good Monday, sir. Had to make the Asgardian stream. Yes, thank you, Jeff Cano. Always great to have you here. He comes up with the best names for every person involved in the current Lucasfilm staff, and it's awesome. So I can't wait to read those. They're always fun. RT says, I find most CGI crap, really. It's almost fake looking mixed up. Yeah, I mean, but I think there's some CGI that's good. Like, for example, the Hulk in the first Avengers film is really good. To me, the Hulk in, some people might disagree with me here, the Hulk in Thor Ragnarok was very good for me personally. I know some people didn't like it as much. I did. And so I feel like CGI can be used correctly, can be used, right. And I don't like it when it's not used correctly. So I feel like that was definitely Green Lantern was not used correctly at all. And also, I mean, Deadpool even makes fun of that fact. So I know that Ryan Reynolds feels the same way. TM Blakemore, what's up, TM Blakemore? Welcome back to the chat. Always great to have you here. Just stopping by to say hi. I should be asleep, though. Loved Ant-Man and the Wasp, but the villains were some weak tea, sadly. Hannah John Camel is way more badass in Killjoys than as Ghost. Yes, I think you were the one that gave her a shout-out before you saw it, so I'm glad to hear that she is better in Killjoys. Yeah, she was not a very good villain as Ghost. Very weak villains in Ant-Man, but the movie overall was entertaining. It was fun. So TM Blakemore, thanks for stopping by, though. I appreciate that. And if you need to get some sleep, go ahead and get some sleep. But yes, glad that you agree on that the movie is good, but the villains are definitely the weakest part. RT says, we'll never replace objects actually being there. I agree with you. I do think they've come a long way, but it's just not the same. Jason Clark says the CGI was so over the top in Green Lantern because they pretty much used it for everything, and they didn't have to. They could have used more practical effects. And so Miss says, check out Sith Kryptonian's channel. He's just starting up and could use the subs and constructive criticism. Well, go check him out, guys. Sith Kryptonian's channel. I've never been to it. So if you can even link me to that, so that way after the chat, I can go check it out. That would be great. So yes, Sith Kryptonian's channel. Go check him out. Give him that constructive feedback. Again, I can tell you as someone who starts off, it's always, it feels good to know that someone's watching you, but also that someone is willing to give you that a bit of advice, because, people might say, oh, I don't want to be negative, but it's like, if you're being constructive with your feedback, they will appreciate it. I know I always appreciate it when I see it in my chats and when I see it in my video comments. So I know that he'll appreciate it as well. So go check him out. Sith Kryptonian. Greta says, I think CGI is another way Hollywood has become lazy. I totally agree with you there, Greta. Instead of working on the production design or the costumes, let's just use CGI. It's cheaper and easier. Yes, you're absolutely right. And again, since we know they can do such amazing things with practical effects, when they opt to do CGI instead, it's just another way of making the film less to me. It makes the film not as good to me. Super says, so I don't try to cram it in second again. Before I forget, I thought of a religious question to ask you. Are you comfortable answering on the stream or email? Totally up to you. At this point, email. That, again, I want to save those questions for my open forum streams. So that way people know, okay, we're going to talk about other things other than movies, TV, and Star Wars. Since today is just a regular Welcome to Asgard, I want this to be focused more on those things. So if you want to really ask it to me, though, email it to me and I'll respond back to you as best as I can. But yeah, so wait for the next Q&A, rather wait for the next open forum to ask that kind of question. If you can wait till then. I'm thinking of actually making that a Sunday night thing, since it seemed to work last night pretty well. So I think that I might make that a Sunday night thing. So yeah. Let's see. RD agrees with Greta. It's lazy filmmaking. Absolutely agree with you there. A dude saw says, I was surprised they have not done a Man of Steel 2 yet. We should have gotten that before Aquaman. I agree with you, but also keep this in mind. Batman v Superman, I think, was originally going to be Man of Steel 2, and then they changed the name to make it more Batman heavy. And I think they're still working on a Man of Steel 2, but also DCU has not done anything right really at this point. So I'm not too surprised by that. Super says, I thought of it right after the stream ended yesterday and got really annoyed at myself. Okay, well, again, I think you probably already heard me at this point. I'm about 10 minutes behind, so I'm not too far behind tonight. Last night, guys, I got 30 minutes behind. It was insane. So this is a pretty comfortable speed for me. Jeff Cotto says the onesie rocked, daring and dashing. Odin did it best. Well, thank you, Jeff Cotto. I appreciate that. Dan Hudson got that cookie, which I might rescind because of his other comment of trying to storm my cookie jar. Jedi Starship says one of the many plot holes for me was the Leia scene out of the ship for 1 minute 48 seconds. Should have died. Radish should have passed her. She didn't keep going. I agree with you. I agree. RD says they do CGI for things they don't need to be CGI, even CGI locations. They can't just go and film on location. It's absolutely lazy. Donald Hudson is nom-nom-nomming on that Cookie Monster happy. Will Last Name Guy says, I'll be back in a bit. If you're still on, gotta do a thing. Awesome. Yeah, I'm going to try and be on for about another 40 minutes. I'm going to try and end it as close to 10 as I can for the sake of my wife, because I am very, very loud. And also just because I know I'm going to want to get some sleep, because even though I'm not working tomorrow, there's a lot of things on my plate also, guys. So serious time. This will be the last live stream where I will have the full beard. I am getting it trimmed tomorrow, so I'm getting a haircut. I'm getting a buzz like I normally have. So I'm getting my hair buzz, and then I'm getting this trimmed up to be nice and neat for my wife's birthday, which is on Wednesday. So I want to, since I'm not going to be in town, I wanted to be able to do at least something. obviously I got her a gift, but also wanted just to do something special for her. And so I am going to be trimming up to look nice. So unfortunately, it means it's going to be the last of this for a while, because once it's trimmed up, it doesn't hold the pencils as well, unfortunately. But yeah, I'm sorry, guys. So I'm just going to have this in for as long as it's going to be in. But yeah, I know that some people are going to be very upset by that, but don't worry. I will still have the beard. It will just be more trimmed up. So let's see. 70B says, hit the like button. It's for free. Please and thank you. Yes, 70B, you're absolutely right about that. She is my Valkyrie, and she is awesome. Just like Tina also is amazing too. So yes, please hit that like button. I greatly appreciate that. Ba, 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 ba. Lost Soldier says, tax break if you live out here in Alaska for long enough and own land. All right, good to know. Good to know. Trevor Dune says, when my dad's in the right frame of mind, he devours books. By that, I mean he can read multiple 300-page books per day. That's insane. I wish I could. If I could speed read like that, that would be the dream. Again, I want to have the drive to read and also the capacity to read. That would be awesome. I would love to do that. RT says, you still have faith in Hollywood, Greta. It'd be interesting to hear her thoughts on that. Jenna Starship says, exactly, guys, is many mistakes, so many mistakes. Jason Clark says, Ghostbusters 2016 is a total waste of trash. 2 hours of my life that I can never get back. I agree with you. That's why I was so upset. I've told you all this before. When I joined my accounts for Movies Anywhere, you got 4 free films. One of them was the Ghostbusters 2016 Extended Edition, and I wanted to give it away, but I can't get rid of it. And it's so sad because every time I open my library for Movies Anywhere, it's there staring me at the face, and I hate it, staring me in the face, and I hate it because it was so bad. It was so bad. And Seven Miss says, I just hated that scene because it looks so cringy and they open the door without letting out air. Yep. Systemair says, Greta, yes, Joan of Arc is an amazingly beautiful film. I agree with you there. It's one, meaning that every scene I've seen from it looks fantastic. Unfortunately, I've never seen it. I know, blasphemy. I do plan on seeing it. Greta, let me know if that is on the Filmstruck service, and put that on the list if you can. Greta says, since I want to work in Hollywood one day, I'm still going to give them chances. Yep, sounds about right. Donald Hudson says, no. Darth Vader scream, please don't take my cookie. All Father, I'll be good. All right, awesome. So Donald Hudson, because you said that, I will not take away. I will not take away your cookie. You've earned the ability to keep the cookie. RT says, I don't work in Hollywood, Greta, do independent cinema. And Seta says, why is Cecil so loved? Because he's amazing. Have you never seen his streams? He's fantastic. Watch his video on The Wizard of Oz, and if that does not convert you to Cecilism, then I don't know what else will. Let's see. RT says, it's just become a thing. It really is, and I love it. TM Blakemore says, oh, we are loving on Craig Ferguson tonight. Can I say a few extra minutes for my loving man, Craigie F? Yes, you can for sure. Super says, Solo isn't great, but it isn't unwatchable. So if you have free tickets, I think it'll be okay. The Kessel Run is actually pretty cool. I agree. Kessel Run is pretty cool. And Chewbacca is great. I think that Chewbacca is the best character in the film. So, I mean, that says a lot about a guy who can't speak English, but at the same time, he's great. Chewbacca's great in it. Kessel Run is really fun too. So yeah, I mean, there's definitely some things. And also, of course, there is, I mean, this isn't a spoiler at this point because it's been out for so long. But of course, there is the appearance of Darth Maul, and that's awesome. It's fantastic. So I think that scene is worth it personally. Especially for free. For free, it's worth it. N7 says, I'm with EVS. I don't like Cecil. He's coarse and he gets everywhere. No, Cecil is life and Bay, and the Force is Cecil. Jedi Starship says, I don't usually follow Mike Zero's channel, but he had a rumor recently that there will be an E-Wing Fighters in episode 9. All right, that should be interesting. Max says, what time is the stream ending? About 35 minutes, around 10 o'clock Central Standard Time. RT says, I always thought Harrison Ford said, I made the Castle Run, as in he helped make a Castle Run. I had no idea he said New Hope at the time. That's a really good chat. I appreciate that. I feel like a lot of people are leaving now because they found out that my beard's going to be shaved. That makes me sad. That makes me very, 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 very sad. Please don't leave for that. I know the beard's amazing, but it'll grow back one day. Let's see. System says RT. I think it's production link mentality. All right. Yeah, guy. I don't try and read the ones where y'all talk to each other, just so that way I can keep up with the chats. Jeff Gow says we need Silver Surfer to surface. Yes, I think we need a good Silver Surfer film for sure. Jedi Starship says true. A lot of EU baiting. Yes, I think you're talking about Mike Zero. I hear a lot of clickbaiting for his titles. That's the reason why I don't watch him very much. And so says, I saw him once on the High Council and he derailed the entire conversation when he showed up. Really? Oh, that's not good. That is not good at all. Yeah, I mean, I feel like the High Council should be a bunch of people who get along and who can flow with each other. Because again, if it doesn't, then it doesn't work. Dusau says Beowulf had good CGI when it came out. At least I've never seen that version of Beowulf. I know Sean Bean's in it, so I do want to check it out. RT says music being crap is down to Hollywood telling musical directors to not do themes that overtake the scene. They think films shouldn't have memorable themes. Don't ask me why. Yeah, I feel like that the number of really great themes has really just dropped tremendously over the last 10 years. So it's definitely really sad. Alien is back. Alien says there's something really off about Cecil. Really, Alien. Really, Alien. You're going to do that right now? RT says it's nothing to do with the composers. It's the brass. Yep. Talhaza says CGI never ages well, though. One exception, Jurassic Park. Jurassic Park CGI still works well. Why? Because they have a healthy mix of CGI and practical effects, and it works tremendously well. I saw that film on screen like maybe 5 or 6 years ago in 3D, and trust me, it still holds up really well. Let's see. Super says the villains in Ant-Man and the Wasp really weren't villains. They were mildly irritating inconveniences outside of the loved. Love the movie, though. I totally agree with you. They're super. Again, there really wasn't an actual villain to the film, as they were saying. And yeah, they were inconveniences and they were very irritating. I totally agree with you there. Trevor says, concerning objects moving in space and Last Jedi, Rian Johnson must be smarter than Newton. I know, right? Jeff Cotto says, the shift. 70B says, Bradley is no in casa, is not here, unfortunately. Or fortunately. I know, fortunately, he's not here. Jedi Starship says, would it be bad to now root for Kylo Ren to kill everyone in the next movie? Depends on your take. It depends on your view of everything. Trevor Toon says, no. Alien says, yeah, I've seen that. Alien is Bay. Alien is definitely Bay for sure. Cobra Kaiser Soze says, Doomcock reminds me of Ming's main minion in Flash Gordon movie. Great stuff. So Maybe says Sunday Fun Day Ask the Questions Day. Yep, sounds like 70B. That's actually a really fun name for it. So yes, that will be the day where we can ask pretty much any questions. Alien is waving. Hey, Alien. It's always great to see you and not see you at the same time because you're just all over the place. Dusau says, from what I understand, CGI costs more, but it's easier than practical effects. Yeah, so it's easier than practical effects, and depending on how much is used, it might be cheaper in the long run. But yeah, I understand what you're saying, though. RT says, nano. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Fantastic. Jason Clark says, please tell me they're not remaking Gone with the Wind. Hey, I would not put it past them at this point. They are so out of original ideas, and they are remaking so many classic films. Gone with the Wind might be next, and if they try that, that's when it's gonna go down, because that movie should never be touched ever. Super says, am I the only one who didn't entirely love the end credit scene in Ant-Man and the Wasp? Not gonna spoil it. Just thought it was a little excessive to generate tension. Yeah, I agree with you to an extent, but also I do think that it leaves a lot of stakes, because they could have gone with a more conventional one, but then they added that extra element to it, if you know what I mean. And I think that adds more stakes to it, since one of those characters was, you know what I mean. Not going to go into it because I don't want to spoil it for anyone. Jedi Starship says, yeah, Cobra Doomcock does have Ming Minion vibe. Yo, Alien says Jeff Cotto. Let's see, RTE says they're not remaking Gone with the Wind, Jason, don't worry, but they might. Again, I would not put it past them at this point. Alien. Hey, Alien. It's always great to wave at you. Super says, the alien has spoken. Hello, great and mysterious one. I know, really, he really is mysterious. RD says, Greta just said if they did, she'd lose faith in Hollywood. I do not blame her. Again, because there are certain classic films like that, Casablanca being some, that should just never be touched. There's no need for them to be redone. There's no need for them to be updated. And if they did, I would agree with you. That would be one thing. I can understand why Greta would lose faith in Hollywood for sure. Deuce Thought says, he tried to storm your cookie jar. That sounds kind of sexual. No. Yes, a Dude's Thoughts. I agree with you. In retrospect, that definitely sounds. Stephanie says, what? Not the beard. I know. I'm so sorry. Again, I'm still going to have it. It's just going to be prim and proper. It's going to be prim and proper. I might try and do like a very quick live stream before I leave tomorrow, but it'll be very early on in the day. So I know a lot of people aren't going to be able to watch, but at least you'll be able to see. I'm sure, actually, you know what? I might not do that. I might instead just, in my video tomorrow, you'll see me with the haircut. So yeah, I know. Tina says, we may not recognize you, but nice you're doing it for your wife. Well, thank you very much. I know that she appreciates that. That's the reason why I'm doing it. And you'll still recognize me. I look different, but hopefully you still love me. Hopefully you'll still love me. But yeah. System says, donate the trimmings to a balding man, Odin. Don't squander the trimmings. Hey, if those people took hairs like this, I would. Because when you find out a lot about like those was it Locks for Love, they have so many stipulations before they actually take donated hair that it's very hard. So unfortunately, I don't think I could donate it, but if I could, I would. Artie says, no, not the beard. The birds will have to fly somewhere else to nest. Yes. Oh, yes. Let's see. And so how many pencils can you put in your beard? I've gotten 3 in there. I will definitely put those in there soon. Jeff Kato says, leave a pen in the beard as a last goodbye. I tried for as long as I could. Super says, oh, nice. Tell Miss Odin happy birthday from Asgard. I will. Hey, Steph. Hey, Steph. Hey, Steph. She can't hear me. She says she can hear me because I yell, and then she can't hear me when I'm calling for it, but I will. I will tell her that everyone says happy birthday. So thank you very much for that. And also, fun story. Her name is Steph also. Donald Hudson says, got to be up early tomorrow. Important test to take care, but not missing this. Well, thank you, Donald Hudson, for joining us. Once again, it's always great to have you here, and good luck on those tests. And so it seems like you're at 100% like. I really hope so. That would be awesome. RT says he got up to 4. Cecil's. Is that Cecil? Wait, is that? No. Is that really Cecil? Hold on, guys. Is that Cecil? Oh my God. Cecil. Cecil, are you here? Cecil, can you hear me? He says, hello, Odin. I'm working on something while listening to you. Cecil, your life, your bay, the Force is you. The Force is Cecil. And thank you so much for watching me. Oh my goodness. I'm actually really like flustered right now. Cecil, oh my God, Cecil, I love you so much. Please do another live stream soon because you are amazing. Oh my God, I love Cecil. Oh my goodness, Cecil is here. Oh my God. This is awesome. Cecil, thank you so much for listening. I know that you're busy. I'm sure you have so much going on, so it means so much that you're listening. Thank you so much. Soldier says BRB. Let's see. And Evan says, I just don't consider it canon. Plenty of better stories of Han and Lando and Legends. They do better. Yeah, I agree with you there. Super says, Cecil is in the chat. I know. Cecil's in the chat. Super says, what's up, Cecil? I know. Tina says, I just saw him hop in. I know, right? Jeff Gatto says, anyone ever seen House? Not the series, the A's movie. No, I have not. RT says, I didn't mind Ghostbusters. I just think the mistake was making it about Ghostbusters. I feel like that cast, different story, would have been a better film for sure. Oh my goodness, Cecil's in the chat, guys. This is amazing. Turbo says, House. I like the first 3 films very much. Yeah, I haven't seen it yet. Jeff Gatto says, guys, see the flick. It's 80s gore and storytelling at its best. Let's see. Greta says, Passion of Joan of Arc is on Filmstruck. Good to know. Thank you. Please add that to the list if you can. Stephanie B says, I missed the second one. The first one was to Donald. That's totally fine. Cobra Kai Jose says, RTE started off crying in Last... Rose Tico started off crying in Last Jedi. First time we see her, and last scene we see her. Yep. Very true. Jeff Gatto says, Steph is a song. RTE says, she isn't crying in her last scene. She passes out. System says, is that actually Cecil? It is. I had to double check the channel. I had to double check everything. It is Cecil. Oh my goodness. It was Cecil. And oh my goodness. Tina's going to a coffee run. Awesome. Jedi Starship says, worst plot hole offense of Last Jedi. First Order talking tactics while attempting the Raiders doesn't send destroyers out to come back in. Movie ends 30 minutes. Yep, you are totally right about that. Jeff Gatto says, content. Content. Tucson says, man, I can't wait for X-Men in the Marvel Universe. That could be really cool if that happens. I would be excited for that for sure. Jefferson says, CGI in Batman Forever wasn't very good. Yeah, it was not very good at all. But I still like that movie. It's still fun. RT says the deal hasn't been struck yet. It'll be interesting to hear thoughts on that. Yeah, I mean, I do honestly think they're going to come in, though. I really do. I think Comcast is trolling Disney right now. I honestly don't think Comcast really wants the content, or at least to spend that money on the content. So I really do think Disney's going to get in the end, but they're just going to spend a hell of a lot of money. And the car says, beard or no beard, I am here for you, Odin. Well, thank you, Jason Clark. That means a lot to me. So thank you very much. Because I feel like a lot of people left as soon as I mentioned that. So thank you very much. It means a lot to me. La, 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 la. Jeff Cotto says the Hulk will come back in Maestro form. Yes. RT says, chatting it up. Dude's thoughts as far as them doing a remake of Gone with the Wind. Frankly, Scarlet, I don't give a damn. I do, though, because I love that movie so much. Deborah June says, oh, no, if you shave your beard, you can't be beard leader. Well, no, I'm not shaving it off, so I will still have a beard, and it still will be epic, I hope. It's just not going to be crazy. I'm just getting it cleaned up, guys. Yeah, I'm getting a buzz cut for sure, but this is going to be cleaned up, so it's not going to be as long. So it's not going to be able to fit pencils in it anymore. So RT says, isn't Gone with the Wind 3 hours long? It is. That's why they should just leave it as it is. Just leave it as it is. There's no reason to remake it at all. Dalhaza says, I forgot to say hi to Rose and hi RTE. Sevi says, Gone with the Wind is a classic. It really is. It's such a great film. Jedi Starship says, yeah, the Thrawn we got was not 100%, maybe 75% character faithful. Good to know. Jeffrey Toon, yes, thank you once again. Matt Damon. That always makes me laugh when you put that in there, Jeffrey Toon. I always appreciate that. Tina says, there are untouchable movies, Gone with the Wind, Citizen Kane, Casablanca, Star Wars, and GWTW would be so un-PC. I'd have to hurt them all if they messed it up. I totally agree with you there. And it's Gone with the Wind. Gone with the Wind is definitely one of those films that's untouchable. I totally agree with you there. And Seven says 3. You got to pump up those numbers. Those are rookie numbers. Jeff Gatto says the Maltese Falcon is a great flick. Humphrey Bogart. Yes, Maltese Falcon is anything with Humphrey Bogart in it is fantastic. Tina says his wife's name is Stephanie as well. Yes, it is. It is. It's such a coincidence. So it's awesome that she is one of my Valkyrie. RD says, have you seen Lawrence of Arabia, Greta? I know that was to Greta. I've never seen it. It's on my list of things to see though. Sevi says she's a lovely lady. Thank you very much. I appreciate that. Let's see. Jedi Starship says M-Day, maybe they would be the more current thing they could work on, but I heard that Magneto can never be in the Marvel universe. You know why? Yes. Everton says, I think your dogs answered. There was definitely something going on in the background. Yes, that was my dogs. They were answering me like, Dad, we're here. We're here. We can hear you. Mom can't because she's watching her show. Funny thing, when my wife says she can hear me, and she says I scream and I yell, which is true. But when I just yelled to her, when she's watching a show or reading a book, she gets so engrossed that sometimes she does not hear. She cannot do two things at once. And Seven says it's not Dick and Comics. Yes, but it was still it is Cecil. That is because I saw his live stream, so that is still him. It's not his YouTube channel is different than his Twitter, but oh my goodness, it's so fantastic. Doll has it says selective hearing. My wife has it too. I go from time to time too. yes. I'm so glad that we can connect on that. Cecil says, hello, Cecil. How are you? Hi, Cecil. RT says Cecil is present. Yes. Jason Clark says hello to Cecil. Absolutely. We have a celebrity in the house. Absolutely. My first celebrity in the chat, and it's awesome. And Mex says Cecil is here. Damn right. Systemera says it's actually him. Quick, everybody, hold him down. Don't let him escape. Jeffrey Toon says Cecil is life. Damn right. The Force is Cecil. Let's see. Jedi Starship says, can we expect a live stream with the wifey, or do you want to keep things private between us? No pressure. Could be one day. I know that she doesn't seem to be very opposed to that. Because even I asked, like, do you mind me saying your name on the chat? And she said that she doesn't. She does want to be referred to by a specific name though. And I think that y'all will definitely appreciate it very much. So she doesn't mind me using her name on the chat, but she does want her to be known as Frigg or Freya, which is Odin's wife. So Frigg or Freya. But yeah, that's how she wants to be known, but she doesn't mind me using her actual name. So that could happen in the future. Absolutely, that could happen. And it says, may the Force have mercy on our souls. I know, right? I mean, this is going to be awful for so many people. You're right about that. Let's see. Dewsaw says, house the horror films. They were pretty good, cheesy films. Good to know. RT says, net royalty in the house. Yes, absolutely. I love Cecil so much. Dalhazen says, may the Force live long and prosper. Wait, I think I got that mixed up. Yes, you got your franchises mixed up there. Jedi Starship says, sorry, meant to say no Magneto in the Avengers universe. Yes. 1 second. See, Stephanie says, wow, seeing Odin the Humble get excited. It's so sweet. I mean, I freaked out. I did geek out for a second because I really do. Again, that's not just an act. I do really like Cecil a lot. And so I'm so excited that Cecil's actually joined. This is awesome. Let's see. N7 says, will you rename the channel Thor's Movie Blog when you shave your beard? No, this will still be O's Movie Blog. And but no, I appreciate that. Jeffrey G says about the beard, that's relief. System says, Cecil, are you going to hit the bench to pwn EVS? He set the bar pretty low there for you. Low-hanging ponage fruits. Yes, please, Cecil, please show him up in your mask. I would love to see that as a video or a live stream. RD says, Odin and his beard is like Samson and his hair. Yes, I've said that on previous live streams, but I think I will still have something. I will, because I will still have, the beard will still be there. Jusaw says, you will end up like Samson in the Bible when he shaved his hair. Don't do it, son. Hey, again, there's part of me that really wants to keep it for the rest of the summer, because I would, at some point, though, I would have to shave it, because when I go back to school, I can't have it like this. Yeah. But yeah, I know. Super says, no reason to remake a movie. Liar, money trumps everything. I know, right? But you know what, though? I wouldn't go see that film. I would not in a million years want to go see Gone with the Wind as a remake. RT says, I love the music as they trek across the desert. It's beautiful. I've heard that. I've really heard that. The score is fantastic. Jenna says, maybe when you shave the beard, keep most of it and make into a little prosthetic just for the chat. Yes. So when I go to the barber tomorrow, I'll say, hey, I know this might sound weird, but when you shave off my beard, can you collect it and put it in a little baggie so that I can bring it home? And I'd appreciate that. I don't think that would go over very well, but that is hilarious. Maybe another time when I shave, maybe I'll do something like that, because that is hilarious. That's a really good shout, Jedi Starship. Jeff Cotto says, the Last Jedi can wear Speedos any color and swim with a hungry great white. Jeff Cotto, sometimes you put things in here and I have no idea what you're talking about, but they're always just really funny. RG says, have you seen The African Queen? I have not, but I've wanted to, because I love, again, Humphrey Bogart. RT says, a woman can't multitask. At least not mine. Jeff Cotto says, selective hearing rocks. Sometimes it happens to me as well. Jeffrey Toon says, Freya. RT says, makes sense. Yep, absolutely. Jeff Cotto says, Steph. So maybe says, Freya sounds pretty. Yes, it does. Which suits her, because she's very pretty as well. RT says, they can't mix. It's a myth. System says, I believe that Cecil is Mundane Matt's alter ego and Mundane Matt is schizophrenic. I think Cecil is something special. That's what I think. I think Cecil is real, and I love Cecil, and Cecil's life and Bay, and Cecil, the Force is Cecil. RG says most people can concentrate on one thing at a time. Yeah, when you have ADD, though, you can concentrate on more than one thing. You don't really give full attention to any one thing, but you can handle more than one thing at a time. That's the reason why I can do this and also read the chat. That's why a lot of people say I couldn't handle it, is because my ADD kind of is like a superpower, at least in very rare circumstances. So doing this is one of those examples. Alien says, I said that in reference to Cecil. Jeff Gow says, can't wait to see Punisher season 2. Yes. Oh my goodness. So Punisher season 1 was so awesome. Bernthal is an amazing Punisher, an amazing Frank Castle. So I cannot wait for season 2. Totally agree with you there, Jeff Cotto. Let's see. Jeffrey Toon says Frig means F in the UK, or it did. I don't know much these days. Let's go with Freya. To avoid the controversy. Both work. Cecil says, yeah, I might do that. Please do. Oh my goodness. Please do a workout in your mask, because that would be amazing. Super says, and if you haven't seen Clone Wars cartoon, it ruins the timeline and makes you think that Han Solo is in like his mid-40s when he meets Luke and Leia. So dumb. Yeah, I'm starting the Clone Wars cartoon, and I'm really liking it so far. So I'll keep that in mind. RT says, frig doesn't mean F. If you say friggin', it's like you're saying F politely. Okay. So frig is not, but friggin' is. Okay. I think Freya is the name that we might stick with. Sly Jones says, speaking of money, how come you don't have super chat set up? So I mentioned this earlier in the chat. So the reason why is because I have reached the goal of 1,000 subs, and I have over 10,000 watch hours now and 1.3 thousand subs. And the reason why is because YouTube takes within a week that they will approve my channel, or they should at least. I don't think I have any content on here that is not advertiser friendly. So it should happen within a week. And so when that happens, then live super chats will go live. But if you do want to give, or you do want to put a message out there, I do have a Patreon page. And so you can donate on Patreon, and I really appreciate that. I do read off all the patrons at the end of every live stream. And so if you want to do that, you can. No obligation to do so. But if you want to, I appreciate it. And yeah. So I will read off the names, and also just know I will read off the names that you put on your Patreon page. So if you don't want your actual name being read aloud, you might want to, have that in mind when you put that in there. But I do read every single one. Jeff Cotto says, oh, sorry, RT says a beard shrine. Oh my goodness. Yeah, let's not get too creepy now. Jeff Cotto says, yes, prosthetic Chad beards. That would be amazing. Don says, I step out for 2 seconds and all of a sudden we're remaking Gone with the Wind. Who's passing out the magic mushrooms? Well, it's because they're remaking everything. And also, I don't know if you were here, but I am shaving my beard, trimming my beard. The beard is not going away, but it is being trimmed. And because it is the last stream and because I've got 14 minutes left, let me go ahead and get this done for you guys. So boom, that is 3 pencils in my beard right now. Let's see how long they'll stay. Jedi Starship says, Odin, go find an old-fashioned barbershop and say to the old guy, if there is one, henceforth, in this moment, you shall be named Stan Lee Snipstip. Yes, that would be awesome. Max says, don't bag up your beard hair. Don't be like Chris Chan. Don't do it. Yeah, I don't plan on doing it because that would be really weird. I think it's hilarious, but yeah, I couldn't do it. Cecil says, gotta bounce. Great chat. Glad to stop by. Well, thank you, Cecil. Again, thank you so much for stopping by. It means so much to me that you did, and keep being awesome, Cecil. And also, please do keep on doing content because I love it. Everyone's saying good night to Cecil. Absolutely so glad he stopped by. Yes, Cecil, you are the Force. May the Force be with you. May Cecil be with all of us. Bitter says, braid it. I just don't have the capacity for that. A dude thought says, I love season 1 of Punisher, the best Punisher ever. It really was good. I do like the Thomas Jane Punisher movie, but I agree it's the best. System says, look, he fled as soon as I revealed his secret identity. Yeah, you say that, but also he's a busy man, so it could be that as well, System. Just saying. Slide Jones says, cool, good to know. Well, yeah, absolutely. And again, yeah. So once those do happen, though, if you want to give, I am not going to turn it away, but at the same time, don't feel obligated to do so. For sure. I'm still going to try and read every single comment. Mex says the Valkyries have synced. We're doomed. I know. That was crazy. They said the same thing at the same time. That was awesome. That was so, y'all double posted. Yeah, I see that, Tina. That was amazing. That was so cool. See, one of the pencils is starting to fall out. It knows. It's like, no, I'm going to run away because you're going to get rid of my home. That's amazing, though. I can't believe y'all synced. That was so great. Jinx says Jedi Starship. Jefferton says, I like Mundane Matt. Jefferton says he comments on news stories. Night Cecil. Super says, sorry, the Clone Wars comment was meant for Jason Clark. I was using those keyboard shortcuts and wasn't paying attention. Hey, it's no problem at all. No problem at all. All right, and I'm caught up with the chat. All right, awesome. Jeff Cotta says, donuts. All right, I am caught up with the chat, guys, and I am rocking 3 pencils still on my beard. And no one's noticed yet, or no one's commented on it, which makes me kind of hurt, but kind of glad because it means I can catch up with some water. All right, guys, so we got about 12 minutes left in the chat, so keep those comments and questions coming. Jeffrey Toon, Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt Damon. Matt. Matt Damon. Let's see. Jefferson says it's fantastic, Odin. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Jeff Kyle says 3 pens and a chug. Damn right. And someone says, I told you to pump up those numbers. Yes. Somebody says caught up and 3 pens. Yep, I was rocking it for a while. Super says pencil beard champion. Damn right. I will be so sad that I don't think I'll be able to do that anymore. Maybe I'll be able to work in one. I don't know. I don't think I'm going to be able to do it, but I will definitely try. I will not be for lack of trying. Tina says that's pretty amazing. Well, thank you. I appreciate that. Mex says donkey. Jeffrey Cotto says, Mex, I went to 7-Eleven and got some munchie. Oh, you guys, you're amazing. Jason Clark says, oh, needed to add zero effect to your movie list, bud. What is Zero Effect? Tell me about it and sell me on that film. Jefferson says, get Ivan Ortega to put the pen beard into his live chat. Into his last Jedi cut. Oh my goodness, that'd be amazing. That would be amazing. Unfortunately, I don't think he'll have an HD version of it to be able to do so. But no, that would be hilarious. maybe as like a credit. That'd be really cool if you could put that as a credit. Odin's pencil beard. 70B says, before you go, like, sub, and hit that bell. Damn right, 70B. Thank you. That is why you and Tina are amazing mods, amazing Valkyries. Y'all are fantastic. Bitter says, try a highlighter. I will try and find one. I will try and find one. Tina says, someone just tagged you on Twitter to Uncle Ethan as one of their 3 favorite YouTube's channels came on at the same time. You, SC Reviews, and Uncle Ethan. Wow. Oh, my goodness. That's awesome. That because again, I'm a huge Ethan Van Sciver fan, so that means a lot that me also SC Reviews is great too. So that means a lot that I'm one of his 3 favorite. Oh my goodness, that's awesome. Tina, thank you so much for that. I can't wait to check that out. That's awesome. Thank you. Thank you, Tina. That means a lot. Thanks for sharing that. Super says, random last minute question. Do you think there's any chance for mainstream Western Hollywood studios to bring back traditional hand-drawn 2D animation? Not in any mainstream films. I think that that's going to happen. It's going to be in more independent films. There are, I feel, still a few places out there that still do traditional hand-drawn animation, which I prefer immensely. Also, update, I am 1 more episode into Cowboy Bebop, so I'm now 5 episodes into Cowboy Bebop, and I am still loving it. It's fantastic. I cannot wait to watch more. I mean, I'm addicted to that show now. So thank y'all for that. It's awesome. Again, I listen to the theme every single time because it's amazing and it's fantastic. But that's a good question. I really want them to go back to traditional animation because I think it's better in so many different ways. But unfortunately, I don't think that big Hollywood is going to go back to that. And if they do, it's going to be, I think it would be something to the effect of the Artist, where they went back and did a silent black and white film, and it's going to be a film that is meant to be very very artsy in that way. I just don't see them doing it on a regular basis for sure. Jeffrey Cotto says, and glaze donuts, they do sound good. 70B says, and follow on Twitter. Well, thanks for posting that again, Steph. Mex says, have you ever seen a movie called Silver Streak? Yes, I have, and it is awesome. Gene Wilder at his best. You also have I'm forgetting his name. He's a comedian and he's awesome. But my favorite part of Silver Streak, I think it's Silver Streak where this happens, is when the character puts shoe polish on on Gene Wilder and he has to act black. I mean, that movie could not be made today, but oh my goodness, it's really funny. Chokano says, I love Odin's Den. Great place to be. Soft like being at Cheers. Yes. Vincent Vader, Odin. What's up, Vincent Vader? Welcome to the chat. Yeah, we're starting to wrap up. We got about 7 minutes left. Vincent Vader. And also, you missed a lot. I am getting a beard trim tomorrow. So this glorious beard will not be at its fullest, but it will still be around. Let's see. Nikki Walters, that is new. So Nikki Walters, welcome to the chat. Great to see a new person. Finally made it. I'm so glad that you were able to make it. I'm sorry that you made it towards the very end of the chat, but thank you for making it nonetheless. I appreciate you, even if you can only be here for a few minutes, for even a few seconds, I greatly appreciate that. So thank you. Let's see. Super says, you're a cool dude. That's why you're my fable. Thank you very much, Super. I do really appreciate that. Thank you very much. Lethal Lightning, what's up, Lethal Lightning? Welcome back to the chat. He says, removes hood after chasing away sand people. Hello there. Yes, Lethal Lightning. Also an amazing YouTube channel. Go check him out. Still early on. I think he's up to, Lethal, how many subs you're up to? Like the 300-400 subs? Let's see if we can get. All right, guys, am I back? I'm so sorry. That was the weirdest thing that just happened. So it just randomly canceled the call. And so now I think I'm in the chat with myself. It makes no sense, but let me know if I'm still here. I'm so sorry about that, guys. I don't know what happened. I'm glad to see that y'all are still here. Oh, I'm so sorry that happened, though. That was really, really weird. Oh, my goodness. All right. So anyway, Leave the Lightning, go check out his channel. I think he's around 300-400 subs. Let's see if we can get some more subs to his channel. So thank you, Leave the Lightning. Tina says Uncle Ethan is still broadcasting. He's showing the screen while Mr. Jones said that. Okay, gotcha. Well, thank you for that. Trevor Toon, thank you. Richard Pryor and Gene Wilder make a good double act. They did several films together, and every single one of them was fantastic. So yes, totally agree with you there. Thank you. Richard Pryor was the name that I was thinking of. Lila Lightning says, Jeff 70B says, Lila Lightning, hello. Super says, I love EVS, but I subbed to him back when he did art and his secret commentary stuff, and I wish he would do more again. There's only so much Star Wars I can take in a day. Just me. I agree with you. And also, too, I feel like that, and rightly so, he spent a lot of time talking about Cyberfrog, and I don't have anything against Cyberfrog. I'm just not a big comics person. And so I was watching more for the Star Wars content. I feel like he spent more time there instead. Trevor Toon says, hello, people who joined the chat. Yes, absolutely. Steph, you're my favorite. Nikki Walters is a step in the right direction. Well, thank you, Nikki Walters. Glad that you're here. Mex says, yeah, you're right. There was one of the best comedic moments in Silver Streak. Yes. Oh, my goodness. Oh, it was so funny. It was so unexpected. No way they could do that and pull that off today. Jason Clark says, Zero Effect has Bill Pullman in it. He plays an insane private detective. Is also Ben Stiller as his assistant. It's funny. Good show. Man, you like it. All right. You sold me on that. You sold me on that. So that is now going on to the list. So Zero Effect, you have just made the list. If I can write it down. Sorry, guys, about what had just happened. I don't know what that was. Let me know if things were still going on. If y'all could still hear me. Let's see. Deuce says Cowboy Bebop was awesome. Have you watched Berserk? Great anime series. The original anime series is better than the new one. The manga is awesome. So as I said before, several times, I'm gonna get through Cowboy Bebop, and after I finish Cowboy Bebop, that's when I'm going to open it up to other people. Nikki Walter says hello, Steph. Jeff Kyle says what happened? What happened? I don't know what happened. Lit AF Pompiani, what is up, dude? Leland says so many shows pretending to care about Shannon McCradle, Mara Jade. She has been really sick for a long time, but now there's these BS rumors of Mara being in the movie, and they act like they care. Sounds about right. Jenny Starship says we have technical difficulties. Please stand by. I know. I hope I'm back. Pompiani says phone home. Odin. Oh, y'all. Odin is down. I was. Tina says what happened? He's gone. Oh man, Nikki Walters. No, Nikki Walters. You joined the chat and then I just disappeared. Odin sleeps as Pompiani. Jimmy says weird. You podcast as gone down. I know it was so weird. Nikki Walters. I just got here. I'm so sorry. Sammy B says yes. Okay. I'm back. All right. Good. Really glad to hear that. Meg says Disney shows have struck again. Let the conspiracy theories begin. Donald Hudson says, well, my fellow Asgardians, I have to call it a night until All Father summons us again. Well, Donald Hudson, thanks for joining us for as long as you did. Again, I'm about to wrap up the chat myself. I'm going to stay on a little after 10 since I went down for a couple of minutes for that. So Sly Jones says, EVS has my tweet on the screen. That's awesome. Dude, Sly Jones, that's awesome. Let's see. 70B says, I am on. Good. Glad to hear it. Okay, we see you. Great. Levi says, I think I'm at 303 subs. So go check out Lethal Lightning. Go check out his channel, please. He still hears me. Great. Had to refresh twice. Okay, glad I'm still here. So didn't sleep. I know, that was so funny. Pompiani, that was great. 70B is promoting Nikki Walters. Yes, please go check her out as well. And also, please tweet at me, Nikki Walters. That way I can follow you too. Meet you, Jeffrey. Tina says, Uncle Ethan had read your tweet. Wait, my tweet? He read my tweet? That's awesome. Oh my goodness, that's fantastic. Thank you. Oh my goodness, that's amazing. Tina says, I'm not a comic book fan either, but I ordered Cyberfrog because, yeah, I understand. Absolutely. I mean, I fully support that, but y'all know I stream. Leland says, stream is fine. All right, great. Awesome to hear. Jeffrey Toon, I am back. Yes, I am. Tina for the win says, Lethal Lightning. Jason Clark says, well, heading to bed. Y'all have a great night. I'll talk to you later. Absolutely. Thank you, Jason Clark, for joining us for as long as you did. Always great to have you here. Max says, speaking of Cowboy Bebop, which episode are you on now? I'm 5 episodes in. So I just finished the episode where he's falling for about a minute or two, and he's having flashbacks of the guy that he was just about to blow up because he was able to throw a grenade off in time. I forgot the name of the episode, but that's the episode that I just finished. Jeff Carter says, I've got gum and scotch tape. Super says, Berserk is my favorite series of all time. It's pretty dark, though, so it might be a leap after Bebop. Yeah, once I finish that, that's when I'm going to go on. Jedi Starship is saying good night to everyone. Good night, Jedi Starship. N7 Myth, I'm taking off. Good night, everyone. Get some sleep, N7 Myth, please. I'm about to end up as well. Pompiani says, do I get a cookie for that? If you ask for a cookie, I can't give one to you, but I was very, very close to it. Very, very, very close. Laura Ryan stole my fan fiction story. Welcome back to the chat. Always great to have you here. I ordered 2 comics. That's awesome. Super says the one thing about the original Berserk series is that it is really toned down from the source material. That's great to hear. Nikki says, appreciate the support, guys. Yay, cupcakes. Yes, absolutely. Everyone's smiling, smiling, smiling. Stephanie says, this is an epic chat. It really is. This is so epic. This has been a great chat tonight. Lilo says, I'm a big comic reader, but I'll skip Cyger Frog. Nothing against it. Just happy with how my pull list is at the moment. I may read it online out of curiosity. I understand that. Dude's thoughts. I love Ed and wish they kept her as a young black boy as they originally had planned. Yes, it is. Hello. Super says, just a warning in advance. When you get to episode 23 in Bebop, have tissues ready. Oh, no. Oh, boy. Oh, boy. Because I'm loving these characters so much. Spike is fantastic. Donald Hudson says, pleasant dreams. Hey, you too, sir. Absolutely for you as well. Justin Mayer says, I've seen the first Berserk. It was scary, disturbing for me. What the hell is Source like? Will Last Name Guy. Thanks, everyone. Good night. Good night, Will Last Name Guy. Nikki Walters. I wish I had the patience for comic books. Me too. I wish I had the attention span for it as well. Again, it's the same thing. It's nothing against comics. It's just my ADD. It's just very hard. Bitter says, hot scene. Trevor Tune says, gum and scotch tape. Isn't it the A-Team's MO or is it MacGyver? Yeah, I don't remember which one it was. All right, let me just get this back on. This is not sticking very well. So I just got one of those like pop socket things, and this one is just not staying very well stuck. So it's going okay. It's going okay. Both Jeffrey, Nikki Walters, team ADD. Yes. So we have another person who's ADD in the chat. Yes. So you understand where I'm coming from, Nikki. Yes, absolutely. Mex says to everyone later, good night, Mex. Thought dope. So Lethal says, I feel like a traitor knowing I'll be getting the Vader annual issue written by Chuck Winbag. Please don't. Oh my goodness, Lethal. If you can like cancel that now, please do that. Do not give that man any money or any attention. Please. All right. So I think I'm caught up with the chat now, guys. So I think we're gonna Nikki, yes, Nikki Walter. Squirrel. For me, it's it's a puppy. Oh, it's a cute puppy. But look at the puppy. Like I'll be on Facebook and I'll be like, but there's a puppy. Look at the puppy. My wife will be like, I know it's a dog. I'm like, but it's a puppy. I know that Steph, my Valkyrie, will understand where I'm coming from. Dusauce says Scotch Tape was an A-Team reference. Laura says, so me today on Twitter, mute report, police report. Ooh, that sounds great. Sevy B says, Chuck Shindig. Sevy B says also, puppy. Yes. Oh my goodness. Totally connection there. We are the same way. That's why I always appreciate your Twitter, because you always post some really, really cute things. And I love them so much because I love animals. Yeah, no, let us know more, Laura, about this police report before we go. Nikki says, yes, future vet tech here, huge on the puppies. That's awesome. That's awesome. I almost went into that because I love dogs, but then I realized that I wouldn't want to do anything else but play with the dogs. So I realized that I probably wasn't the best person for that kind of a job. Cobra Kaiser says, good night, all. God bless America. God bless you, Cobra Kai. Trevor June says, police report. That sounds bad. Yes, it does. So please let us know. Mayor says, you should try comics for graphic novels in particular. It's like reading a movie, better than the stupid word books. Yeah, I understand what you mean, but I have tried them before, and I just have the same problem. For sure. Yeah, so I'm just gonna wait to see what Laura posts about that police report thing. I can't define at that, but for everyone else, we're starting to wrap up this chat. So put your goodbyes, any last second thoughts or questions in, and we're gonna wrap up this chat for the night. Again, sorry about the weird thing that happened with me going away. It's gonna be interesting to see what happens when the live stream goes live. But yeah, thank y'all for sticking around and for not leaving. So thank you for that. Two Thoughts says, system error. How far did you get in manga? It's on Kindle now. Super says, night everybody. Thanks for another awesome stream. Well, thank you very much, Super. Greta, good night everyone. Good night, Greta. Always great to have you here. Let's see. Lisa says, I know it's bad, but the Vader comics are great. Best thing about new canon, and I must complete the run. But I highly doubt he can write to the level the series is at. Oh man, that makes me so sad. Vicky says, goodbye, loves. Goodbye, Nikki. RTE says, you still got to read words through system. Night people, says Jeffrey Toon. Bombiani says, shouldn't have came in late. Take care. I know. I'm so sorry. I really wish I could have stayed longer. But I do want to try and wrap it up around 10 o'clock just for the sake of my wife and sleep and stuff. Good night, everyone. Y'all be good. Tip your Valkyries. Yes, Stephanie B. Everyone tip those cookies to the Valkyries. They are awesome. They are fantastic. Sly Jones says, hey, I'll still hit you up with specs. Thanks again. Yes, please definitely do that. Please send that to me so that way I can help you out, Slide. Jeff Cotto says, good night, mighty Odin Valkyries. Yes, thank you, Jeff Cotto. Laura says, we have so many dogs. It's like Bumpy's Bumpus Hounds. That's like the Bumpus Hounds from A Christmas Story. Threats about the fanboy mug thing. Oh, okay. I gotcha. Tina says, it was a Disney conspiracy. I'm standing by that. Yes, I thought I'd like that too. Bitter says later, Tater. Jeff Gatto says hello. Take care, everybody. Lilo Light says take care. Take care, everybody. RTE says night, Steph. Night, everybody. Lilo says it's 10 p.m. for you. It's 10 p.m. Central Standard Time for me. Nikki Walters is giving those cookies and donuts from Stephanie B. Cookies from Lethal Lightning. Yes, tip those people, man. Yeah, the 1997 one was the one I saw. All right, awesome. So yes, keep giving those cookies, guys. Have a great night. I love you all so much. Y'all the reason why I do this. Tomorrow night, I will not be able to do my typical low council like I like to do when the high council goes on because I will be flying to Chicago. So no live stream tomorrow. I will be posting a video tomorrow. I'm not going to have videos for Wednesday or Thursday since I'll be out of town. I'm going to try and see if I can do a live stream Wednesday and Thursday. Depends on how good the hotel Wi-Fi is. So definitely that's going to be announced. So I'm going to put that on Twitter and it's going to be from my phone. So I'm not going to be able to create an event on my computer because I'm not going to have my computer with me. But just if you follow me on Twitter, that's where I'll be able to put that information out there. So please follow me there. So good night, everybody. Deusaw says, good night. Don't be raiding anybody's cookie jar without permission. Damn right. Laura says, have fun in Chicago. Thank you very much. I cannot wait to ride some coasters. I have been wanting it for a while. Tina says, have a good one and have a safe flight. Well, thank you very much. 70B, no worries. Odin, your watch has ended. Thank you very much. All right. Thank you all so much for watching. Have a great night. And as always, God bless. Love you guys.